All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Truth Frequency Radio, and it looks like again we are having station problems because I don't hear any sound tonight. But the good news is I am connected to TFR, so the call board will work. And as I say that, let me change the phone number on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. Again, every week if you want to call in, to talk, the number to call in to talk is 213-233-3998. If you just want to call in to listen, I forget that number off the top of my head, but it's right on the front of TFRlive.com. There is a number to call into if you just want to listen through your phone, but not actually be on the show. But the 213-233-3998, that's the number to call in if you want to be part of the show. And thank you to everyone in the chat. I appreciate the happy birthday wishes. It is my birthday today. Turning 38, the magic number. So, anyway, I titled tonight's show, How Many More 201s Do You Need to See? I mean, a lot of people thought it was dumb that I pointed out that Tom Brady had 201 passing yards in the Super Bowl in light of all the 201 rituals we were documenting from news to sports. But then look, the Bucs go to the White House to celebrate Super Bowl 55 on July 20th, the 201st day of the year. And, in the NBA, the Bucs win the finals on the same day, getting their 62nd win of the season. In Gematria, Tampa Bay Buccaneers equals 62 with the alphabetic order forwards. Buccaneers equals 62 with the alphabetic order in reverse. We always call 62 the Bucs number. The Bucs in the NBA win the NBA Finals, getting their 62nd win of the season the same day the Bucs are at the White House. And we were already showing you a month ago how they were syncing up the Bucs playoff run with the Super Bowl. And the Phoenix Suns stayed on 55 road wins in the playoffs, like how the Bucs won Super Bowl 55. Yesterday, the Tampa Bay Rays played Baltimore. They came into the game with 55 wins. The day the other Tampa teams get recognized for Super Bowl 55, and they're playing Baltimore right down the street from D.C., and then again, they're doing this on the 201st day of the year, 201. And they're meeting Joe Biden. Joe Biden, a big 201 agent. Remember, Joe Biden, his wife and daughter died right after he became senator-elect. And they died on a road that equals 201 in Gematria. And if you think that's a coincidence, then you must also think it's a coincidence that his son, Beau Biden, died 201 days before Pope Francis's birthday. Remember, Pope Francis, his birth name equals 201. First ever pope to live in Suite 201 at the Vatican, known as the Domus Sanctae Martyr, which equals 201, like the Jesuit order, like Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits. Again, 201 is clearly the number of the Jesuits, and like we're saying, if you learn this simple code of letters and numbers, you can see how they control everything from the Oval Office to the world of sports and entertainment, and how they bring it all together through ritual. It's as clear as day. It is truly as clear as day. Yesterday, the Bucs became 10-1 at home in the playoffs. 10-1, like 101. Finals equals 101. Biden equals 101. The Bucs just won the 101st NFL season, which concluded with Super Bowl 55. See how it all comes together so perfectly? How the whole world of sports so obviously scripted? And, yesterday I was talking about the 62 thing. Then the big headline today is that Giannis, the star of the Milwaukee Bucks, went to Chick-fil-A today and ordered 50 chicken nuggets to go with his 50 points scored for the first championship for the Bucks in 50 years. But the thing about Chick-fil-A, the way they spell it, it equals 62. It's just like, come on, man. What's he going to do, win next year and he's going to buy 62 watermelons? I mean, it's all stereotypes. Watermelon, chicken, I'm going to Disneyland. It's just, all this stuff is a big, sick joke. And again, in light of the Jesuits being the New World Order, Giannis is an international player. They were making a lot of points in the time of the finals about how much of an international audience he brought to this year's finals. So Milwaukee, small market, but Giannis himself connects to a bigger international market. So, it's all about ratings, and, it reminds that David Stern said in 1984 that NBA is not about basketball, it's about stars. Giannis scores half the points yesterday. And Yeah, it's just, it's just so sick, man. It is. It's just sick. And then Brady's up there making jokes about the election. Why don't you try out Gematria for yourself and see if the 4-base ciphers are a joke? Type out election and type out football and tell me what you see. With the alphabetic order, election and football both equal 83. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse, election and football both equal 133. If you run the alphabetic order in reverse, the rules numerology, election and football both equal 43, like how Brady won the Super Bowl at age 43. Of course, Florida's also 43 in that same cipher, reminding of the election of number 43, where it came down to Florida, where his brother Jeb Bush, was the 43rd governor when George W. Bush became the 43rd president, thanks to the shenanigans in Florida and the Supreme Court intervening and, stopping the recount. It's like, wait. That was just so puzzling to me as a teenager. I was like, why would they stop a recount? Shouldn't we make sure that we got the right guy? Seems a little bit funny that the new president is the son of the last Republican president. I don't feel like there's anything democratic about this republic. Looks like looks like nothing's changed. It's the land of the kings, King George Jr. But, on the 201st day of the year, and of course, Jeff Bezos supposedly went to space for 11 minutes, on the anniversary of the moon landing, and Neil Alden Armstrong equals 201, the first man to walk on the moon. And if you write out space travel, that was the big theme yesterday, space travel. Space travel equals 52. It was the 52-year anniversary of the moon landing. The word technology is also 52. Since that fits in, and Jeff Bezos is known as Mr. Big Tech. But, just day after day, just very clear Jesuit rituals when you know this simple code that was literally like on your classroom wall as a kindergartner and a first grader. Capital A, lowercase a, 1, capital B, lowercase b, 2, capital C, lowercase c, 3. It was right there your whole life. So... yeah, how many more 201s do we need, man? How many more do we need? Why can't people wake up to the shenanigans? What's wrong with them? What's wrong with these people? I was hoping for my birthday wish the whole world was going to wake up. Guess I didn't blow out the candles right, but... Anyway, you guys, I don't want to ramble on too long. I'd rather just take some calls. We'll have Rambo after the break. See if the sound kicks in here tonight. If it doesn't, I guess if the sound doesn't kick in tonight, we'll just go right through the commercial breaks. Why not? Won't sound quite right on the playback on TFR, but hey, give me some sound so I can do it right over here. And by the way, at the end of the show tonight, I'm going to stay on for a little bit. I have some stuff that was sent to my P.O. box. Some of you guys will be blown away if you're watching that I haven't opened it yet, but I was saving it all for my birthday. So hopefully there was nothing perishable in there or anything, but I'll open some letters and some packages. And I hope the person's out there that sent me enough seeds to feed the world. Please don't send me any more seeds. I'm super grateful for all that you've sent, but I really don't need any more seeds. I just really don't. Especially when you send them in the envelope, because I have to pay for the postage every time. The other day I was like, I had to pay for $20 in postage to get more seeds. But, yeah. Anyway, we'll do that at the end of the show, after 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight Eastern. Get them out here on the West Coast. Show starts at 6 p.m. out here. Ends at 9 p.m. out here. I know you people on the East Coast that stay up. I appreciate you. It's a lot later. But, I don't really have any more to say. Just, 2-0 on this, 2-0 that. You might have turned on CNN tonight and saw senile Joe Biden. Isn't it crazy the things that just come out of his mouth and his eyes don't even blink? It's like, what did that even just mean? He mumbled out some phrase. I just had it on for minutes, and he said something like, "It's not like I'm sick in the resurrection." I was like, what? Does he even know what he just said? What does that even mean? It's not like I'm just sick in the resurrection? The guy's just like... I think there's something symbolic about having senile Joe in office right now, too, as the pandemic wages on, which is clearly here to get rid of the Social Security burden, if you catch my drift. Joe Biden is here to remind us of that. All the senile Americans with their heads full of tin from, all the crap that's in our diet and our food, and eating all the food out of metal cans and Teflon cookware and, Joe Biden's what it looks like. But, yeah, let's do it. All right. We got our caller from Austin. How you doing tonight, Austin?
Happy birthday, Zach.
Hey, man. Thank you. How you doing today?
Oh, I wish I had some of them brownies out of Mother Hubbard's cupboard right now.
Oh, I wish I had some of those too, actually. Those are miles away from me right now, but yeah, those sound good.
Yeah, we're definitely living in a mental, retarded, screwed up world right now, aren't we? It just blows my mind.
It's amazing. It is amazing.
And unfortunately, the zombies that walk around, they don't care, they don't know, they don't care. Well, go take your booster shot. It'll get you in the end.
Yeah. That was some of the news yesterday. Maybe we need a booster for the COVID. We need a second one for the COVID Johnson & Johnson shot now. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, you're going to need one every month, right?
Yeah.
Give me a break, man.
Yeah.
This whole thing was based around taking that kill shot. The kill rate of the damn scamdemic is 0.00000 whatever, and oh, be afraid.
Indeed.
Take your shot.
Indeed. Yeah.
It just blows my mind that people are so freaking stupid. Oh well.
I know you're a little bit older than me, so I'm probably going to be in the same boat as you for as long as I live, just blown away every day at the same things. I mean, it's like I've known it for a long time, but yeah, it's just every day it racks my brain how it's possible, so.
Yeah, they keep getting dumber and dumber by the day, and people suck it up, and I sit here and laugh, and I go, man, I got to smoke some more weed. This makes me... I gotta have something to calm me down.
Yeah. That's actually something I have not done yet today. I might do that on the first commercial break, so I appreciate that tip.
Well, happy birthday, man. I love your show. I love your brain, and I love your calls. And just hang in there, brother.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Have a great rest of your day. Okay, we got one of the brothers calling in from Austin tonight. I'm sure Michigan's somewhere out there. But by the way, the other big golf shenanigans this weekend, Colin Morikawa winning it by the numbers. Man, it's amazing how they do it, you guys. He was the only golfer in the tournament that had a 149 name connection, and it was the 149th Open. It was 163 days after his birthday, the 38th prime. The Open has Gematria 38 in the most pure cipher. And it was exactly 14 weeks after Matsuyama won the Masters, and golf was 14. And remember, last year they had Morikawa win the PGA Championship on the anniversary of the bombing of Nagasaki. He's a Japanese-American. And then Matsuyama just had the major Pearl Harbor ritual. It's such sick jokes that they do every single major sports tournament, and the majority of the world is just completely cut off to it. They have no clue, even though it's right in front of their face. I mean, you think more people would be like, doesn't that seem weird that a Japanese golfer won it on Nagasaki bombing day, Doesn't it seem weird the Bucs are at the White House on the same day the Bucs are winning the championship? Bucs. But that's why I've called it the same thing for years, coincidence programming. I called it that before I even knew Gematria. I said that's what I used to explain to people. The media is always making it seem like everything's just a coincidence. And it works. It works, man, because people just accept the coincidence. What's up, Marcus out in New York?
Hey, what's up, Zach?
What's
up,
up,
you hear
man?
me?
What's up? Yeah, I hear you.
Yo, happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
I want to talk about. You see Kanye.
Oh, here
West?
I gotta say something to you. I don't know if you ever got this before. I never said this to you before, but you've always reminded me. Whenever I hear your voice, Your voice always reminds me of Biz Markie. By the way, R.I.P. to Biz Markie, who went out in a Jesuit ritual just the other day. But whenever I hear your voice just, like, I feel like you could impersonate him perfectly because your voice and accent to me sounds so similar to his voice.
Okay, Kanye West got an album coming out on Friday, right? And you said Kanye West, they always use him as a Jesus ritual, right?
That's right.
This is his 10th album. This is his 10th album coming out.
Friday.
This is 10th. Friday. And his 10th album, that's...
All right, I got to think about that. His birthday's June 8th. I know that. June 8th. So Friday's July 23rd. So what is that? 33 days? No. What kind of math is that? It's 45 days after his birthday. Holy Bible number. It would also be his 46th day of his age. Catholic. I'll look more into that. Yeah, I'll look more into that. There's always a ritual with his albums.
And plus he named his album after his mama. His mama's first name is Donna.
His mom's name is Donna?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Donda.
Oh, Donda. Okay, it's close. My mom's name is Donna. I was going to say. I didn't know we had the same. Okay, he's 44 right now. He's 44. It means he's in his 45th year of life. The album's coming out 45 days after his birthday. Remember, the King James Bible was made when the year he turned 45, 1611. Holy Bible's 45, forwards and backwards. So, yeah, something to that.
So I just want to know if you see any rituals with him since they love the use Jesus rituals with Kanye West. And plus, this is his 10th album. I think it's very the same thing with Nas. What album Nas was on? And we was talking about Nas.
Wait, say that again?
You remember we were talking about Nas a couple of months ago? What album that Nas came out on?
King's Disease?
He got the Grammy for.
King's Disease?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Forgot what number.
Uh-oh, you started to cut out there. You cut out.
I just think there's something with this album what's coming up soon.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right about that.
Because when I look at his mom name and his, it's a lot of matches.
I see the album equals 38 like rapper.
Like
he better watch out. He better watch out being 44 years old and from Atlanta like Martin Luther King Jr. He better watch out with this 38 album. So.
What you say?
Well, I'm just thinking about how he's from Atlanta, Georgia, like MLK, who got killed on 4/4. He's 44 right now. He's putting out this.
Kanye's from Scott.
Well, I know he claims Chicago, but he's from Atlanta, Georgia, isn't he?
No. I thought he always claimed Chicago.
He does claim Chicago, but I think he's really from Atlanta, Georgia.
Well, I never heard that. Or heard him represent Chicago. I know his mom was born in Oklahoma.
Okay. Well, I know he does claim Chicago as a city. I think his birthplace, though, is Atlanta, Georgia, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. And the reason why I'm saying this 10th album is after his mom died. His mom died in, 2007, I think?
Well, remember when we had Larry Johnson on the show, that was the only thing he really talked openly about. He said he's pretty sure that Kanye West chose to have his mom sacrificed.
I think his mom died in 2007, I think. Either 2007 or 2006, November 10th. That's when his mom died. Now his name is 10th album after his mom.
Yeah, I'll look more into that. Yeah, you're right. There's a lot going on there. Yeah, and it comes out while he's 44, which is associated with death and killing, so... Yeah.
Oh, so I just want to see if you can see into it, but I just.
All right. Yeah. Tonight you got
a name done.
Yeah. Your connection is off tonight. It just keep cutting in and out. But I got everything you're saying for the most part. So I'll do a post on it. And Vanessa, if you're out there, I'm gonna do the post on the thing you asked me to. Sorry I haven't gotten to it yet. It'll all be done tomorrow. Promise. And.
Okay, Zach.
Yeah, I got it, man.
I'll look for a post for that.
All right, I will. I'll probably do a video on it.
Okay.
All right, thanks, man.
Okay, Zach.
Yeah, have a good one.
Okay.
Take care.
All right. Bye.
All right, Houston, Texas. What's up, Houston?
Hey, happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
I don't want to take up too much of your time. I just wanted to talk about the censorship that's going on.
Okay.
Because I had shared one of your videos on my Facebook, and it got the whole thing got deleted.
That sounds about right. I can't even share my own stuff on my Facebook. Pretty much everything gets taken down.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the other day, Jen Psaki, she was talking about how they're in regular talks with big tech to censor misinformation.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. Everything's misinformation that's not part of their lies, so.
Especially when it comes to the vaccines and...
Right. Yeah, nobody can ask anything about... There's no way vaccines could possibly be bad at all. That's what big tech needs you to know. Even questioning them in any way it should be censored and just totally shut down. Vaccines have never done anything bad to anybody. So...
But I think I'm better off without Facebook.
Truly, we all are. We all are, man. These platforms are terrible.
I don't know if you deleted yours or you still using it or what, but.
Well, I post on there when I'm going live, just because some people are on there. But yeah, if there weren't people on there, they didn't follow me, I wouldn't use it. So I pretty much just go on there to say I'm going live.
Well, I think everyone should just get rid of it because I mean they're monitoring it.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. We really should. We should stop using all of these platforms. Really, is what we should do. They're all terrible.
But that's all I have, man.
All right, I appreciate it. You have a good night. And yeah, I mean that's normal. You try to share my stuff on Facebook. Facebook has my stuff like in some kind of algorithm, man. They block stuff from my website, YouTube. It's just they got it on lockdown. What's up, Florida? 772.
Hello?
Hello. It sounds like the truth does not exist.
Hey man, happy birthday.
Thank you. You know what? I haven't opened up I've been just savoring them on the counter. Your yogurt coated candies. I might eat them tonight since it's my birthday. I've been waiting for a special day. So.
Yeah, you're gonna enjoy them. Yeah, and you can well you don't have a DVD player, but if you did, you could sit down and watch. You could sit down and watch the Lego Movie.
It's right here. It is right here. I do have it. I just need to get a player for it. So I got it. It's right here.
Yeah, I mean, people throw them out all the time, and you can get one at a thrift store for like $4. Or you could use a computer.
Well, that's the thing. The computer doesn't have anywhere to put a disc in.
Oh. So I was gonna I wanted to say I'm free to find truth. Because I know that YouTube doesn't let you post links or whatever. But I uploaded a new blog. A new blog post that I made because my other one got deleted. But yeah, and if you can put on there's a post that I kind of want to show. So it's about mind control inside TVs. And so inside there's a patent for mind control. Excuse me. They actually patented mind control using magnets, electromagnets inside the TV. And so the magnets can actually be used for to influence people's emotions. And a long time ago, I called in about this, and I didn't actually say that what the technology was. I just theorized that it existed. I didn't actually. I didn't know that there was any proof of it. I just that they might have had that technology, but apparently they do. And I mean, if anybody wants to go and look at the link that I have on the blog, it shows the original patent for it. But so the original patent uses tube TVs because tube TVs can generate an electromagnetic field. But modern TVs don't because they don't use that kind of technology anymore. So now we have these flat screens that can't generate electromagnetic fields. So when you actually open up a TV, it's pretty funny. What do they have? They actually have electromagnets in them. So and what's funny is it's the only electronic with magnets, which is something I discovered because I take apart all kinds of electronics for my lab. So and it's really obvious, they put it on the logic board and not on the power supply. Because if it was on the power supply, you know, then it's like, okay, well, whatever, they use it for power. But they put it on the logic board, which is the part of the TV that's where the computer is and what actually processes the video. So, which means that the video, they could put a signal inside the video to trigger that magnet. But yeah, I wrote about that, and I said that maybe it could be implemented into mobile phones. I mean, I've never taken apart a mobile phone, so I don't know if it's in there. But it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I don't think that they'd pass up the opportunity to put a mobile mind control device inside everybody's pocket to influence their emotions about things.
Well, very interesting. Yeah, his blog here is Truth Does Not Exist, Advanced Science. Yeah, so appreciate the information.
And yeah, a couple of weeks ago when you did your health and wellness podcast, I didn't get to call in. But I guess I can say it now. You've inspired me to start working out. When you did your 50 push-ups at the end of the video.
Bryson,
I've been going to the gym.
Bryson said my push-ups weren't proper because my arms were out too wide. But the truth is, if you make them narrower, it is harder. But if you move it around, I think it's good because it works different parts of your pecs. If you had more in, more out, so switch it up. But yeah, everybody can do the simple exercises every day, and it's good for you. It'll build up your physique a little bit. You'll feel better. You'll have better energy. So yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Keep it up.
Yeah, I've already I already have 6 pounds of muscle. I've already gained 6 pounds of muscle.
There you go. There you go. Very nice. Great work.
Yeah, it works pretty well. I mean, I haven't just been doing push-ups. I've been going to the gym. I've been swimming. I've been doing like a lot of different exercises. But yeah, I have been working out a lot, and my dad's working out too. So we've both been. He's losing weight, and I'm gaining muscle. But something else. Has Sweet Lady ever watched what's it called? Frank Tufano?
What's that?
So there's this YouTube channel that's like a health and wellness kind of channel, Frank Tufano, and he actually has a lot of really good videos. His modern videos are okay, but like 2 years ago he was doing a lot of really good videos, and he has like really in-depth nutritional stuff, and he doesn't just say like, oh, this thing works for this, or oh, this thing will help with this condition. He actually like talks about the metabolic processes that we have, and actually how the chemicals react inside our bodies, all this stuff. I'm sure that Sweet Lady will enjoy that.
I'm gonna tell her about it. She probably will. She's a junkie for knowledge and information. She listens to a lot of YouTube videos about health and nutrition right now. It's like all she's doing in her spare time. But I'm not sure she listens to Frank Tufano, so I will pass on his name and see what she thinks. Yeah.
Okay, and what was I gonna say? I forgot. Oh yeah, so something else that a lot of people underestimate is high quality animal foods in the diet is also something that a lot of people lack on, and what's funny is that they blame like a lot of health problems like on red meat and all this stuff, and it's demonized. But the funny thing is that our red meat consumption has gone down and the quality of it has gone down, yet we have all these new diseases and like this big I guess you could say peak of diseases like clogged arteries and heart issues and all these things. These are all new problems that our ancestors who didn't have all these meats inside their diet, or who had a lot of the meats inside their diet, they didn't have any of these issues, and they had red meat. They had cholesterol, which is demonized, which is actually it's vital for us. That's what our cells are made of. And they push this vegetable oil and all this other crap. And it's crazy how they've completely they've just demonized meat. And then they say that it causes carbon, which I think is the biggest joke ever. That the cows farting is heating the earth up. It's causing global warming.
They do that. No, I've always found that to be a suspect statistic, that the cow farts is the biggest contributor to carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. Seems hard to believe. So. Yep.
I learned that when I was 8 years old, and I thought that was the stupidest thing that I had ever heard in my life.
Yeah, they've been saying that for a while, so it is
I was like, wow, that is like, you have to be a complete imbecile to actually believe that, and I guess a lot of people are complete imbeciles. I was 8 and nobody told me that was stupid. I just thought it was idiotic. It's like that. How does that make any sense?
Right. Indeed.
And so how 99% of the greenhouse gases are made up of water vapor. So I mean, does that even carbon dioxide? I mean, does that even make a difference?
Well, I just know, again, if you introduce carbon dioxide to your garden, the plants get bigger and greener, so plants like carbon. It seems like, and if plants make oxygen, it seems like it should offset, so something doesn't make sense about what they're telling us.
Yep.
All right, buddy.
Well, yeah, you up for a live stream this week or so, like this Sunday or something?
Well, I do owe you a live stream. It's been a while that you've been asking me. What time this Sunday?
Afternoon for me, so maybe like 6 p.m. for you, maybe around.
Okay.
Or like 4 or 5.
Okay. Yeah. All right. We'll do it this weekend then.
Okay. Well, happy birthday.
All right. Yeah. Have a good one, man. You take care.
Okay. You too.
That's it.
Okay.
And for people who are listening on the website, I'm sorry, you guys. I don't have any audio tonight. I don't hear any sound. I don't hear any commercials. So last week it wouldn't even let me connect to the show. That's why I didn't do the show last week. Well, I did it on YouTube, but I couldn't connect on the web. So again, we're just having some glitches here. And so sorry if I'm talking about something, it goes in a commercial, and then we come back, we're talking about something else. Just bear with us. Or you can switch over to the YouTube stream, and then you'll just hear it all the way through uninterrupted. But we are to the point of the show now where the man of the hour speaks. How you doing, Rambo?
Happy birthday.
Appreciate that. Thank you. My birthday present's coming right up. Your presentation. I can't wait.
Thanks. Did you say, just real quick before my presentation, did you say that when you were pounding the pavement that they were blasting a lot of music while you were trying to talk? That's something you experienced?
Well, they've done that to us the last 2 times we went to Seattle. But last time I went down there, as soon as I got to the corner, as soon as I got there and showed up in Seattle, a guy walked up to me and said, "If you get on that bullhorn in your hand, I'm going to be out here with my speaker drowning you out all day." And I was just like, okay, where the hell did this guy come from? And he did. He sat there all day. He brought out a fold-out table, a laptop computer, and a monster speaker, and he just blasted music all day, and then it ruined the whole stream because the whole thing was copyrighted and blanked out, and it wouldn't even let me download it, so the whole thing was lost.
Oh yeah, I was going to talk about that because I guess you figured it out. The reason they do that is so that you can't upload the video because the music is copyrighted.
Right, exactly. It's a very obvious big tech strategy. So.
Because also police officers are starting to do it. When you film police officers, what they'll do is they'll go to their cell phone and just play a song off YouTube or something.
Well, and the police show up and post up on the corner and just stare at us the whole time too. So you got the police there, you got the guy with the speaker. It's like there's an assigned team to just watch us. So. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the latest strategy. So I'm kind of going off what I've been talking about the last couple of weeks. The title of this is the Euro 2020 Finals. That's the soccer final. Now, even if you're not into soccer or sports, this is an overarching. Usually, my deco is I look at the overarching ritual. Whenever there's a ritual, it's never just about that one individual ritual. That's usually a subpart of an overarching theme, and some of these are millennia old. So even if you're not into sport or soccer, this should still be interesting because of all the elements. And I'll demonstrate how all the elements have to do with an ancient ritual. So it's really not so much about sports, but because of the passion that people have worldwide towards sports. I mean, athletes are some of the biggest and most popular people in the world. That's the importance of sports. That's why they'll use sports for these grand rituals, which are way more important than actually sports. So yeah, so don't be discouraged if you're not into soccer. This has to do with more than soccer, and so it has to do with the destruction of twin pillars. It's an ongoing theme, and the gods of Rome, Jupiter and the unconquered sun. Those are clearly the two
the New Babylon. So on July 11th, 2021, I made a mistake here, I put 2011, but I meant 2021. Italy defeated England in the final of the European Championship of football, worldwide football, Americans call it soccer. It was at the hallowed ground of London's Wembley Stadium. I talk about the importance of sports and how it harnesses so much human emotion. Well, Wembley Stadium is very important because the suffix ley, L-E-Y, at the end of Wembley is a reference to the fact that Wembley Stadium sits at the intersection of two ley lines. The point of intersection of ley lines produces a caloric energy vortex. So the ritual victory of Italy over England transcended football / soccer and sports. That was just the latest installment of an ancient grand ritual involving the chief deity of Sumer, Babylon, and Rome. Enlil to Babylon, Enlil, Sumer, Zeus to Greece, Jupiter to Rome. I've done extensive work on that. Actually, just to just sidetrack slightly, the NBA championship was just won by Milwaukee Bucks, led by Giannis Antetokounmpo. He actually represents Zeus. He's Greek, and he's a Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, so he's a Jupiter symbol. And he wears 34. 34 in the magic square of Jupiter, each line adds to 34. So he's clearly a Jupiter Zeus symbol, especially being Greek. He represents Zeus. So there's a lot of that going on. Tampa Bay Lightning, the lightning bolt represents Zeus, Jupiter. They won twice, 2 in a row. So you're seeing a lot of homage to Jupiter in the sports world, especially. So the ancient grand ritual has an astrological root. The nemesis, quote unquote, that's just not necessarily a nemesis. The opposition is more, I guess, the appropriate word of Jupiter in astrology is Mercury. The zodiac signs ruled by Jupiter, which are Sagittarius, like Antetokounmpo, like the Pope Francis. Sagittarius and Pisces, they're ruled by Jupiter. They are directly opposite the signs ruled by Mercury, which are Gemini and Virgo, on the zodiacal wheel. So Mercury is the detriment of Sagittarius and Pisces. Jupiter is the detriment of Gemini and Virgo. The two managers who contested the Euro football final between Italy and England, the two managers reflected the Jupiter-Mercury detriment. The Italian manager, Roberto Mancini, representing Rome, is a Sagittarius, so he is Jupiter. England's manager, Gareth Southgate, is a Virgo, and he's Mercury. Remember that the first openly Jesuit pope is a Sagittarius. St. Peter, who's venerated by the Catholic Church, St. Peter is actually Jew Peter. He's actually depicted in the St. Peter depicted on the throne. That's exactly sitting on a chair. It's modeled after Jupiter sitting on a chair. I showed if you can see the visual, the picture of the statue of Jupiter. That's actually in St. Petersburg. St. Petersburg. So a city named after St. Peter has the statue of Jupiter, which I have in on the top of my post. That's homage to St. Peter as Jupiter. It's all there. They lay it all out. It's up to people to see it and notice it. So the symbol for Gemini is twins. Again, Gemini ruled by Mercury. The Temple of Solomon has a signature twin towers feature, which is a Mercury reference, which is proven by Gematria. Hermes is the Greek version of Mercury. Solomon has double overlap with Mercury. Solomon also has double overlap with Hermes. So Solomon actually is Mercury. The original World Trade Center in New York City with its twin pillars was a Gemini symbol, and hence a Mercury symbol, and a symbolic Temple of Solomon. Do you remember that Building 7, which is the middle pillar, that was destroyed? It was almost entirely occupied by the Salomon Brothers Investment Bank. Salomon, S-A-L-O-M-O-N. That's actually the Latin for Solomon. So they laid it right out there. They actually put the name Solomon on the Twin Towers. So Tisha B'Av is a commemoration of the destruction of the first and second temples, as well as other disasters, but primarily it commemorates the destruction of the first and second temples of Solomon in Jerusalem. Tisha B'Av is the 9th of the 11th month. Av is the 11th month in the civic calendar. Tisha B'Av sums to 9/11 in the Latin Jewish cipher. So how appropriate that the Twin Towers on 9/11, they actually represented the Temple of Solomon. The phrase destruction of Solomon's temple sums to 119, 11/9, like the date, 11th September. The second Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem and its twin pillars was destroyed by Rome under the Emperor Titus. It was Titus who destroyed the second temple. The destruction of Solomon's temple ritual theme had already been implemented this year, going into the Italy versus England game after one of a set of twin buildings was destroyed in Surfside, Florida, where the Champlain Towers South spontaneously collapsed, we're told, on June 24th, 2021. June 24th is also the anniversary of the beginning of the reign of Roman Emperor Titus. And Titus is the one who destroyed the second temple. So you have twin buildings, one tower goes down on the anniversary of the Roman emperor who destroyed the Temple of Solomon, known for its twin pillars. It all adds up to perfectly. It's a grand ritual. This is how the dots all connect. This is an ancient ritual. These are just the latest installments of an ancient ritual. So again, June 24th, that is when Titus, the destroyer of the second temple, started his reign. Wembley Stadium in London is the site of that same ritual theme. It is on that site of Wembley Stadium that twin towers, once again, were built and destroyed. I show a graphic of the original Wembley Stadium that contained iconic twin pillars. Despite desperate pleas from fans, the public at large, the twin pillars were iconic even to non-soccer fans in England and Britain, but primarily in England. They were considered like a national monument. No one ever thought they'd be destroyed, but despite all the pleas, the twin pillars of Wembley were destroyed when they wanted to build a new stadium. They thought they could at least preserve the twin pillars, get rid of the stadium, but preserve the twin pillars. But no, to everyone's shock, they decided to destroy the iconic twin pillars of the original Wembley Stadium. So this was an emphatic statement about who really occupies the seat of power, even in Britain. And that's Rome, because that's who destroys the twin pillars. So Titus, he came to power on June 24th, and he laid siege to Jerusalem before destroying the temple. In the Sumerian cipher, Jerusalem sums to 624, like the date June 24th. Wembley sums to 624 in reverse Sumerian.
Rambo, let's just pause real quick.
Wembley.
Do you think this is part of the reason that they chose this to be modern Freemasonry's birthday?
Oh, having to do. See, this is the contradiction. To me, this is an indication that Freemasonry has been infiltrated. This is what Freemasons have to accept. I don't understand why Freemasons, they're really, when it's brought up, everyone's ever talked to a Freemason, we should tell them that it's been infiltrated. Because they're very anti, when you suggest that things like this or 9/11 are being done by Freemasons, but if you think of it, Freemasons venerate Solomon's temple. But yeah, people will call themselves Freemasons who are ritually destroying Solomon's temple.
Right. Right.
So,
Exactly. When you think about it, I mean, you just have to face that fact. It's like, okay, Solomon's temple is where Freemasonry secrets are, and modern Freemasonry was created on Titus's birthday. Or when his reign began. I never realized that before. That's a great find.
Yeah, so why would you line up your institution, your society that venerates the one thing you venerate more than anything, well, almost, I mean, what else do Freemasons, you could say serious or whatever, but still, Solomon's temple is one of the things Freemasons venerate the most. It's sacred. So why would you...
Not one of, Rambo. It is the thing that is the most. Easily.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is a glaring contradiction. To me, this is proof that it's been infiltrated, because I guess most people don't make these connections. You just join and you're told it's been infiltrated by the Illuminati, and they had their coming out party at the Congress of Wilhelmsbad, where they had that's just a historical fact. They actually celebrated taking over Freemasons, the Illuminati, and we know who the Jesuits were already Illuminati. That's why Illuminati has an Italian name. Some people make the mistake of thinking that the Bavarian Illuminati was the birth of the Illuminati. No, that's the Bavarian. It already existed, and it has an Italian name. If the Bavarian Illuminati was the start of it, wouldn't it have a German name? If it started in Germany? No, it had an Italian name because the Jesuits were already the Illuminati. So, yeah. So that's the contradiction. So, Wembley Stadium, London, sums to 246, like 24 June. And, again, London, that's where officially modern Freemasons started. London is all very Masonic. This is one of the Freemason capitals, London, where all this is going on. So, back to the soccer event. Rome destroyed the Twin Pillars symbolically en route to the final, and Rome is Italy who won it. In the semifinal of the Euro 2020, that's what it's called. It's called Euro 2020, even though it was held in 2021 because it was supposed to be held in 2020, but they delayed it because of the coronavirus. But you know how they arrange things. Things have to be on a certain time with alignments, planetary alignments, and dates. So I'm pretty sure they had to have it this year for ritual reasons. They could have had it last year if they wanted to. But this is their excuse, coronavirus. But it's still called a Euro 2020, even though it was held in 2021, just to remove any confusion. So Rome, in the form of Italy, symbolically destroyed the Twin Pillars when they defeated Spain, whose coat of arms contains twin pillars, which the twin pillars on the Spanish flag and coat of arms are the pillars of Hercules, which are, again, that's on their coat of arms and flag. So Italy defeating Spain in the semifinal was, again, symbolically destroying the twin pillars. Because that's such a strong Spanish symbol. And the game, of course, in regulation, finished 1-1. And you know what 1-1 is symbolic of twin pillars. And they ended up winning on penalties. So before the final, July 11th, the two most notable deaths in England were that of former England striker Paul Mariner, who died practically on the eve of the England-Italy final. He died on the 9th, the final was on the 11th, but this is so, I guess from our perspective in this community, a death from a soccer star, former England star, that close to a final, it's kind of obvious. It's so obvious. It's related to the final. It's blatantly obvious. And so his name was Paul Mariner. He died 2 days before the final. And early on, everybody knows of Prince Philip, Queen Elizabeth's husband. He died back in April. But twin pillars, as I said, are a Gemini symbol. So both Prince Philip and Paul Mariner are Gemini. So, and remember that Gemini's detriment is Jupiter. And Jupiter has 99 Gematria. Prince Philip died at age 99. This is all about the Mercury-Jupiter opposition. It's obvious, example upon example. All this cannot be coincidence. So he died at 99, the Jupiter number. So 99 is like Jupiter's calling card. And both Paul Mariner and Prince Philip were Jupiter sacrifices. We can't always tell who are they sacrificing to. Sometimes we can tell when all the symbolism adds up. This was a sacrifice to Jupiter. They represented Mercury being Gemini, and they also represent the destruction of twin pillars. So an excerpt from a 2002 article from the British, one of the major media outlets in Britain, The Guardian. I just took an excerpt from 2002 about the destruction of the old Wembley. It says, quote, bulldozers began work on September 9th, and already the west end of the ground is completely demolished. That's a quote from The Guardian. It started on September 9th, according to them. I get different dates, but The Guardian is a major paper. They say September 9th. And again, that 9/9 is the date, which is another homage to Jupiter, the chief deity of Rome. And they were in the process of, well, the way they demolished the stadium, they demolished the entire stadium and left the twin pillars last. But the actual demolition began, according to The Guardian, on 9/9, which is a reference to Jupiter. And there are more accolades to Jupiter after the tournament. The tournament's best player award, which in American terminology you call it the tournament MVP, it went to Italy's goalkeeper, Gianluigi Donnarumma. He ticks all the boxes for the ritual. He's a Pisces, so he represents Jupiter. Jupiter rules Pisces, so appropriate that a Pisces would get best player. And he was born in 99. It's that big Jupiter number. Then there's his last name, Donnarumma, which sums to 156. 9/11 is the 156th prime number. 9/11, like 9th of Oz, when Rome destroyed the Twin Pillars, like September 11th, when New York's Twin Pillars were destroyed. Then in Donnarumma, 156. Now, best young player, an award for the best young player, it went to Pedri of Spain. And Pedri of Spain is a Sagittarius. So there they are dishing out accolades to Jupiter. Anyone who represents Jupiter. It's all about birthdays here. Now I'll talk about how Jupiter, the tiger is symbolic of the planet Jupiter. Jupiter is an orange striped planet. For that reason, the tiger represents the planet Jupiter because the tiger has stripes. The planet Jupiter has orange stripes as well. I've talked about Joe Burrow. I've got many examples of the Cincinnati Bengals, very Jesuit town, Cincinnati, so they line up with it's all Jupiter symbolism. The original Wembley Stadium was called the Empire Stadium. Okay, that's a little off topic, but it was called the Empire Stadium, and most people think that's a reference to the British Empire. No, I think it's a reference to the Roman Empire. That's kind of the hidden. But anyway, back to the tiger. The outcome of the game and the underlying ritual was all but guaranteed. I actually spoke to some members of the soccer community, mostly from England, where before the semifinal, the ritual became really clear. I could see what it was. It was Rome was going to destroy the Twin Pillars at Wembley. It became pretty clear to me. So I did speak to some members in the community about before the semis. So, but this was the clincher. There was a tiger. Yeah, I know, tiger's Jupiter. In a Siberian zoo, who was given a choice between a box with Italy's flag and a box with England's flag. So the tiger was supposed to predict the game. They said they had a treat in each box, but they did not have a treat in each box. They knew which box they wanted the tiger to go after, and they put the meat or the treat, whatever you call it, in that box. The other box did not have any food. They obviously manipulated this. But they say, oh, we'll see which one the tiger picks. Well, the tiger picked England. Well, I knew what that meant. Most people think they're portraying it as the tiger predicting England to win. No, the tiger is Jupiter. This was Jupiter devouring basically England. What does England represent? Wembley Stadium that used to have the Twin Pillars. And I'll get to England's manager where you'll really see the Mercury symbolism. Interesting was the name of the tiger as well. The tiger's name was Khan, K-H-A-N, Khan, which is the same name as the London mayor of London, Sadiq Khan. Well, this tiger's name was Khan, and he basically devoured England's box. That doesn't look like he's, sending a positive omen to England, which everybody thought. No, that was not positive. And I have to shout out Nige for pointing out the clip about the tiger doing the predictions. When I saw that, that completely clinched it for me. Who was going to win? So yeah, over to England's manager Gareth Southgate. A lot of symbolism with him. He's not just randomly picked. His name is Gareth Southgate, and so Solomon's Temple is said to have no north gate. It said it had no north gate. He only had an east, south, and a west gate. Solomon's Temple. The England manager's name, Southgate, is a direct reference to Solomon's Temple that had Solomon's Southgate and also had a Herod's Southgate. So there were two Southgates to Solomon's Temple. Herod's Southgate and Solomon's Southgate. And I show a layout of Solomon's Temple, and I highlight the Southgate. And there's also a cross-section from looking at the western wall. You're facing east, and it shows, again, I highlight the south gate of, and that's actually where the animals came in to be sacrificed. Right by the south gate. There's an alley where the animals for sacrifice came in. All this imagery, these are ancient rituals being performed in modern times. And I show a photograph of the south gate. It's also called the Zion Gate. There's more symbolism to that as well. But so Gematria confirms Southgate, the England manager, as Mercury. Mercury is also Hermes to Greece. And his and Wembley Stadium's relation to Solomon's Temple. His first name is Gareth. Solomon, Wembley, Hermes. They all have double matchups, double overlap in Gematria. Gareth Southgate's birthday is September 3rd. That leaves 119 days in the year, 119. He's perfect for this ritual. Italy's manager is the Sagittarius, Roberto Mancini. His name, Roberto Mancini, sums to 156. And we all know that the 156th prime number is 911. Now, these numbers here, the credit for the co-creation of this tournament, it goes to Henri Delaunay. He's French, after whom the championship trophy is named. It's called the Henri Delaunay Trophy. But he's given credit as being a co-creator of the tournament. But look at his birthday. 15th June, that's 156. Again, he's a Gemini. That's 156, the number we talked about. And his death date is 9th November, 9/11. So he was born on 156 and he died on 9/11. But 9/11 is the 156 prime. It's amazing synchronicity. So the game finished 1-1 again after regulation. Again, the number 1-1 indicative of twin pillars. This score, I spoke about this last week, but this score reflected numbers in the twin pillar collapse of Champlain Towers South in Florida, where at game time, which is because the numbers change, Wikipedia changes the numbers, but as of the start of the final, which was on July 11th, it was reported that one Italian and one Briton were missing from the Champlain Towers. That was a global event. So 1-1. So Italy won, Britain won, which is, they were forecasting the score of the final. So no homage to Rome would be complete without a bow to its most famous of all emperors, and that is Julius Caesar. England's goal was scored by Luke Shaw. And Luke Shaw was chosen because he has Julius Caesar's birthday. Again, this is all homage to Rome, which is July 12th. This is all homage to Rome. So it's not just Jupiter. Rome also venerates sun gods like Sol Invictus and Mithras. The second Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem was destroyed by Rome under Emperor Titus, who began his reign on June 24th, which is a date that Rome sometimes observed the summer solstice. Sometimes Rome did observe the summer solstice on June 24th. And the date of the Champlain Tower condo collapse was June 24th as well. This is all summer solstice rituals. Again, these are ancient rituals. This appears to have been, so Yeah, so Rome venerates the sun god and Jupiter. Those are two highest venerated entities by Rome. And last week I talked, a couple of weeks ago actually, I talked about the Royal Arch of Freemasonry. And so Freemasons acknowledge the sun's arch in the sky from sunrise through sunset, and from the spring equinox through the autumnal equinox, with the Royal Arch that has a keystone at its apex that symbolizes the summer solstice and the zodiac sign of Cancer when the summer solstice occurs. The glyph for Cancer looks like the number 69 and is inscribed on the Masonic keystone in the Royal Arch. While the twin pillars were destroyed from the original Wembley Stadium, a grand symbol of Roman/Jesuit and Freemasonic veneration was erected in the new stadium, the Royal Arch. There's a massive arch. You see the picture, you'll see the humongous arch on the new stadium. Symbolism is everything. I talk about a quote from Manly P. Hall. He says, when mankind learns to read the language of symbolism, a great veil will be lifted from their eyes. It's kind of ironic that a Freemason would make that quote, because when you understand symbolism, then you realize how Freemasons are behind so much of what's going on. So how ironic that a Freemason would tell you that you need to understand symbolism. Well, we can see, when those familiar with Wembley Stadium know about the arch. That's its signature feature of the new stadium. So they destroyed the twin pillars, which is Mercury, and they put in the arch. Again, that's Sol Invictus and Mithras. Sol Invictus is the unconquered sun. The top of the Royal Arch represents summer solstice. So, unconquered sun, Society of Jesus, and summer solstice all have multiple overlap in Gematria. And we know that the Jesuit order is known for its sun logo. It puts that out front. The Jupiter stuff is more occulted, but the sun stuff, they put it right out there. The apex of the Royal Arch has the Cancer 69 glyph. Also, the Jesuit order comes to 69. Now, they actually, a German company actually created an excavator for the purpose of destroying the twin pillars of Wembley Stadium, the original Wembley Stadium. They actually created an excavator machine specifically for that, and they continued to sell the model, but it was first created for that specific purpose. It's called the Liebherr 974. Now, this is an asterisk in Gematria. You're not supposed to mix letters and numbers to get a value. That's against the official rules of Gematria, but so I just put an asterisk on that. Liebherr 974 with the numerals 974 sums to 69. So that is relevant because that was used specifically for Wembley, and there's the arch, and 69 is relevant to the top of the arch. The other Roman sun god is Mithras, which is derived from the Persian Mithra, and the Mithra sums to 69. So this is sun god worship, 69. Summer solstice, Cancer, it's all there, Mithra. So in London, in the financial district of London, which is a sovereign territory separate from the rest of Britain, the City of London Corporation, where there actually is a 2,000-year-old Roman temple to Mithras. That's in London. It's 2,000 years old, and it was excavated, and it can be visited. And former New York Mayor Michael Bloomberg has a building on top of that temple to Mithras, a 2,000-year-old temple to Mithras. So if you go and visit it, you have to go into the Bloomberg building and go into the basement area where you have this 2,000-year-old temple to Mithras. So I show a picture of that, and they show, I guess it looks like a glass engraving, but it shows Mithras slaying the bull as he's depicted in Rome, and you have the arch above Mithras. So there's that symbol again, the arch. So yeah, these are some of the ancient rituals that go into events in sports, such as the European soccer final.
Well, brilliant work as always, Rambo. Really connecting the dots. I appreciate it. Anything else you want to chime in with tonight?
No, I was gonna. I already said I said earlier how the Milwaukee Bucks, Giannis being the big hero, has to do again with the Jupiter veneration. He's a Sagittarius. He's ruled by Jupiter. He's Greek, so he's Zeus. He wears 34, the magic square of Jupiter. Each line adds up to 34, so he has heavy Jupiter symbolism. I've talked about it with football and, Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals and Bernard Giovanni means Jovian. So these are how, also the Tampa Bay Lightning. I'll add this real quick. The lightning bolt is a symbol of Jupiter as well, Jupiter Zeus. So Tampa Bay Lightning, that's a direct Jupiter reference. But the Tampa Bay Lightning, they were who's the co-creator of the Tampa Bay Lightning? It's Phil Esposito. That's who it is. So Phil Esposito he's one of the creators of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Well, he's a Pisces, not by coincidence. Again, so that's another Jupiter reference. So yeah, so these are some of the trends, some of the patterns that you're seeing.
Well, very interesting, Rambo. And since you like Cincinnati, if you want to look into an athlete in Cincinnati, look into the pitcher Wade Miley for the Reds. He's had some of the biggest rituals this year. His no-hitter was perfectly synced with Pope Francis. It was this big 175 thing. Then on the day leaving 175 days left in the year, he pitched again and dominated and got a win on that game. Whole lot of parallels between those two games. And then yesterday on the 201st day of the year, he became 8-4 for the season, like Jesuits 84 and the Jesuit Orders 201, and of course Cincinnati's Jesuit town. But yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. What is it about Wade Miley? He hasn't been on the Reds for long. He just moved to that team, but he's having a year with the Reds. They're not a winning team, but he has a very winning record, and he's had some of the biggest and most interesting rituals this year in the whole league. So, wondering what's going on with Wade Miley.
Yeah, I'll look into him. I'll see if I see anything.
Here, let's look up his birthday. I forget what his birthday is. Let me see. Wade Miley birthday. Let's see. November 13th.
Okay, yeah, that's a Scorpio. That's Mars. Mars is they also venerate Mars. Mars is a level under, because Mars, the most sacred site in ancient Rome was Capitoline Hill. Now the center of government is also the center of of worship of their deities, Capitoline Hill. So, and there was a temple to Jupiter. There's also a temple to Mars on Capitoline Hill. So Mars, you're seeing a lot of Scorpios in the news as well.
Well, yesterday was a Tuesday. I'm going to go back and look at what other day those games were. Mars is named after Tuesday, so okay. Something going on with that. Okay. All right, Rambo. Well, I always appreciate it, man. Great work. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Have a good night.
Take care.
Okay. Now, next up is Bart in Chicago. I see Bobby Simpson. Bobby, you're just a few callers down. Bobby will have something good with astrology to chime in with tonight. I know that for sure. He might call in about the golfer. I think it was Bobby who added on to the notes about the golfer this week. What's up, Bart?
What's up, Zach?
How you doing, man?
Happy 38th birthday, brother.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's the infamous number. Anyway.
And hold on, I gotta pause real quick before you go, Bart.
Okay, no problem.
Rich, I know you're out there listening, man. What is the deal? I went on to Facebook to post I'm going live, and Rich is on there bitching about you because you don't want to buy one of his t-shirts. Rich, why are you always bitching about everybody? We already know how the... It's just like, I don't get it, man. Rich is like trying to compete with everybody, that he's the best at sharing the work. Rich, it just drives me nuts, man. Like, why are you complaining about what Bart's doing in Chicago? You're like, you think Bart's guys are going to Chicago? I got people buying my shirts in Chicago, but Bart won't buy a shirt. It's just like, what is that? What is that, Rich? Stop. All right, sorry, Bart. Go ahead, man.
No, thank you, Zach, because, yeah, Rich came at me today and he wanted to kick my ass.
Rich comes at me. Rich gets mad over the stupidest stuff. It doesn't even make sense. It's like, Rich, why would you be mad at a guy who's also out helping get out the word? What? Just because he's not getting your T-shirt? I mean, that's not the big. It's just, oh my God, it's maddening, man. I don't know why he can't just chill out about some things.
I get it. I appreciate that, Zach.
Well, he's gonna get mad. I already know. He's gonna send me a big email. I'm quitting. I'm done with the movement, and then he'll be back the next day. I'm back. It's just like, Rich, get a hold of yourself, man. You're always tripping out for no reason.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
He did that to me today.
Yeah, I saw it because I logged on, and that was the first thing at the top of my page. Him ranting about you. I'm like, really? This is what you're mad about? That Bart didn't get your T-shirt? Come on, man. I mean, his T-shirts are great. Rich, your T-shirts are great. I appreciate the one you sent to me. It's awesome. But, I mean, there's no reason to be getting mad at somebody because they didn't get the T-shirt. Especially when they're already helping out in the community. Okay.
No, I get it. Thank you, Zach. Thank you for that quick rant. Once again, happy birthday, brother.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say thank you for big shout out to Sonny for getting me into the Gematria community. That's beautiful. Appreciate you, Sonny. And I don't know if you noticed, but Zach, I've been kind of broadcasting your show.
It seems to be always on. I have noticed because I've been trying to figure out how you did that. It just goes all the time.
Yeah, it's 24/7, Zach, and that's a tribute to you for all the hard work that you do, because I know you've been frustrated and you kind of stopped. Well, not stopped, but you kind of like eased back on the videos, and I thought, you know what, let's do a tribute to Zach. So people can get Zach 24/7 when they want to.
Well, I'll tell you what, part of the reason also I've cut back is because, well, first of all, I just feel like it's just the same thing I'm showing every day, and I've been doing it for so long, it's like either people are going to get it or not. Some people have been telling me that if I did less videos, more people would watch them. I haven't noticed any upsurge in stats, so I don't think that's exactly worked out, but yeah, I'm just trying to see, so, if I switch it up a tiny bit, if I lay off, does that help? Is less more? I don't know, so... Doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. No, I get you. But I just wanted to, this was a tribute to your work and to your birthday coming up, and just wanted to give a 24/7 channel of Zach's.
And by the way, you just spoke like my birthday was upcoming. I was like, is it upcoming? And then I'm reminded. I'm actually 6 minutes. In 6 minutes, I will officially be 38, because that's what time I was born at on my birth certificate. 7:19 p.m. So it's 7:13 p.m. out here. I was born on the West Coast, so we're 6 minutes from my official birthday.
Awesome. But yeah, I mean, that's why I did that, because just to give a tribute to your work, to your freaking patience, because it takes a lot of patience to deal with a lot of fucking morons that just don't get this work. And so what I did is I did a 24/7 channel, and you'd be surprised. There's people that go on there. Every now and then I see people chiming in, and Sunny actually got fooled one time. She's like, oh my God, because we were talking to her, and she's like, oh my God, Zach is live. And she's like, oh, never mind, that's Bart's channel, doing the 24/7 Zach stuff.
Yeah, how did you make it do that, Bart?
Well, you have to have a designated server, and there's companies that do designated servers. And one of the companies, well, the one that I use is called Old Bubble. And basically what you can do is you can do a playlist,
Cue
like
videos.
an OBS.
Yeah, I totally get it. And it just keeps playing video after video. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on a loop. Yeah, it's on a loop. So I put in, but I think it was 8 videos, tribute to your 8 years of work. And I put in 8 videos, and they continually play on a loop. And it goes on 24/7.
I've noticed that. Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, Bart. Very cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. So the other thing I wanted to say is thank you for supporting my channel, because when I did a decode after the fact on Italy winning the Euro Cup, I know that you tweeted my stream. Appreciate that, because I've got a bunch of people. I was doing the stream and a bunch of people came on, and I'm like, who the fuck are you guys? Where did you come from? And they're like, well, we came from Zach. Zach tweeted your stream. I'm like, Zach, who? And then I realized, wait a minute, are you talking about Zach? And they're like, yeah, we're talking about Zach. So thank you for that, brother.
Well, whenever I see that somebody in the community is doing a live stream, anytime I catch it, I almost always tweet it on my social media just to get more people over there. So, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, and good work, man. Thanks for doing the work.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Last but not least, Zach, there's someone in our community here in Chicago. She is being pressured to get the jab to keep her work. And if she doesn't, by August 28th, she has been notified that she's going to be fired if she doesn't get the jab. So on Free to Find Truth, I posted the link where, because a lot of her friends and a lot of her coworkers are signing up to this, and they started a page where you could actually sign a petition that it's my body, my preference. And we did a great job today with our community. A lot of people signed the petition that she needed 5,000 signatures. Well, not her, but everybody that's in that position. They needed 5,000 signatures, and we killed it. Our community just tipped it over 5,000. But just please, if you guys go to my Free to Find Truth, there's a link. Continue to support her and just fill out the form. Basically, sign the petition, fill out the form. It takes 15 seconds. They're way above 5,000. That was their goal. But the more signatures that we can get, the more it's going to be powerful for her to maybe keep her job. But we passed the 5,000 mark. Love you guys. Everybody that participated, you know who you are. So thank you, and keep helping her out. So go to Free to Find Truth. There's a link there where you can go and sign the petition, and please help her out. And she's part of this community. She was recommended to me. She's in Chicago. She was recommended to me by Michelle. Most of you might know Michelle. Michelle's a big part of Free to Find Truth. So.
All right, I got it up here on the screen. So, again, the way to find the link, you guys, freetofindtruth.com. On the search section, just search Bart, and then it comes up under members. Click the members tab. You'll see Bart. He's got his finger on the chin, like he's thinking. And then you see his post, please help at Sarah Bear. You just click the more comments, and it's the top comment, www.change.org / all the stuff for the petition. So is that where she's at, Chamberlain University?
Yeah. She's a recruiter for that university, and recently they sent her an email saying that if you don't get the jab, you're fired.
Yeah, I mean, think about how many people are under this same circumstance worldwide, and it's why there just needs to be a huge... Everybody needs to stand up for everybody in this position, even if you know them or not. So, yeah. I feel like flying to Chamberlain University with my megaphone. I won't say that I'm connected to her, but I mean... It's ridiculous, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
It's fucked up. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Bart. Well, I appreciate you getting the word about that. And awesome. Yeah, thank you.
If it wasn't for you, I mean, I wouldn't be connected to this wonderful community. And God bless Sonny, Cheryl, the people that know Sunny also know. I mean, her name is Cheryl, aka Sunny. She is the most wonderful human being I've ever met, besides you, Zach. And
well, you haven't met me yet. I'm sure she's a lot better. I'm gonna say she's probably better. So.
No, you both are awesome. You're awesome. You know how to bring people together, and that's what matters. And you brought people together. Cheryl brought people together, and we're fighting the good fight to help these people, to help everybody that's in the community and outside of the community. We're just doing our part to bring the tyranny down, period.
Indeed. Absolutely, Bart. And again, really love what you're doing out there. Keep up the great work. Rich, I love what you're doing out there. Keep up the great work. Just stop bitching at everybody who's also trying to do the great work. But, I mean, that's how it is with Rich. Rich would be like, how come, man, you didn't say I'm doing great work? Rich, you're doing great work, man. God, are you 5? Come on, man. Don't worry, Rich. I'm only like the emotional maturity of a 7-year-old, but I can still recognize that yours is like 5. Come on, man. At least get to 7. So. Anyway, appreciate you, Bart.
Appreciate you, Zach. Happy birthday, brother. We love you. We love your work, and you brought us together, and we're here to celebrate your. How do I say it? How do I say it? We celebrate your future.
Well, I'm hoping that we're gonna 38 will have a new look to it after this year. It's gonna have this real positive look because we always talk about it with death, but it's other things too. So I'm not worried about being 38. Yeah. Maybe it'll be a good year for me because today is the day leaving 163 days left in the year. It's the 38th prime number. I'm turning 38 today, so maybe it's going to be the year. Plus, Gematria is 38 in the most pure cipher, so is English. Maybe this year the world's going to figure it out. So
there you go. I think we will. We love you. We appreciate you. You are, you are the real commander-in-chief, and Zachary K. Hubbard for President 2024.
Okay, Bart. All right, man. I appreciate it. Keep up the great work. You have a good night.
You too.
All right, take care, friend.
Bye.
Yeah. By the way, with regards to 62, since we started talking about the 62 and the Bucs and the Buccaneers and Giannis at Chick-fil-A and all that. By the way, my death pool this year would pay 62-1. But that will be a losing bet. That one will lose. So anyway. If you guys don't know how a death pool works, if you bet on somebody to die in a year, the way it works is you get paid the odds of 100 minus their age. So like if somebody was 91 and you bet on them to die, and there are places where you can bet on this, as sad as that is, but like if you bet on a 91-year-old to die, it would pay 9-1 if he died in that year, because it's 100 minus 91 pays 9-1, you see. Okay, with that said, let's go out to Nevada, where gambling's legal. What's up, Reno?
Hey, what's up, Zach? What's up?
How you doing, man?
Hey, I just wanted to run something by you real quick. I know you had mentioned it, not really mentioned it, but you kind of, maybe about a year ago, you had said something like this pandemic was going to last. Maybe it could last possibly to 2023. And I was just
remember, I said it should go at least until the start of 2022, possibly to the start of 2023, because that is the year of the tiger. And remember, they're giving us all that tiger symbolism at the beginning of this.
Yeah, I remember that. The reason I'm calling is just that I just remembered, 2023, take out the 0 and it's 322 backwards, and every. I do the sport.
Well, don't forget. Hold on. It's also just 223 if you take out the 0. And don't forget the way they used to call this at the beginning, novel coronavirus, that equals 223. And novel, like a story that's being, it's like a story that's just being written day after day, the latest chapter in the ongoing COVID saga. And we all know it's more BS each day by the numbers, but go ahead.
My question, Jack, is because it's the 322 backwards, do you think we're going to see some serious shit in that year?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they got whoppers planned for us, and that's gonna be a big election year. You know, it's gonna be a big election year. So, if I'm
Yeah,
not mistaken,
right.
I'm thinking that's
Right.
the year Slow Joe might kick the bucket. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm just expecting. I just know 322 is just huge in sports, so I can just imagine what we got in store for us in a year or so. But thanks, Zach. I appreciate it.
All right, man. You have a good night, Greg. Take care. You guys want to know something messed up? I don't think you'll mind if I bring it up, but that caller, he learned about this knowledge, and then after like 2 years of paying attention to this knowledge, his wife got sick out of nowhere, and she died at age 47. And I'm always talking about 47, and it's sad because he has children, and mom's gone. But he was so weirded out when that happened. I mean, it is weird. It's just like it happened fast, and then at 47. And it's a reminder, man. I mean, you can't take life for granted because, you just never know what tomorrow is going to bring. So, let's go out to Nebraska. What's up, Nebraska?
What's going on with that?
How you doing, man?
I'm alright. Just had a quick decode on Space Jam movie. Nothing major. At the halftime of the Goon Squad versus Toon Squad basketball game, the score was Goon Squad 1,039 to the Toon Squad's 37, right? And 1,039 is the 175th prime number.
Mm-hmm.
The Los Angeles Lakers was 175, and Toon Squad has a good 37, and the Los Angeles equals 37. So I caught that right off the bat. Thought that was interesting. The final score was 1,042 to 1,041 Toon Squad. And I see how they snuck that 42 in there. I see 1042 a lot sometimes too, but I never could put my finger on exactly what it stood for. But that's all I had. Quick little decode of that.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, they're always sticking the same numbers in the film, so good eyes. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Oh yeah, and one more thing about the movie. Damian Lillard's in it. He has a decent amount of screen time, so I wouldn't be surprised if they try to team up Dame and LeBron. But that's all I had, bro.
Stephen A. Smith almost hinted this morning that the Lakers might have Damian Lillard next season, and almost even started to make it seem like Chris Paul as well. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's looking like Dame's gonna probably link with LeBron for his last few years. But that's all I had, man.
All right, appreciate it. Have a good night.
Yep, you too, bro.
So they're putting it in the movies, and then it'll probably be in the career, and people will think it's a coincidence again. I mean, it just shows you what a nation of dummies it is. It's just like people that are just so easy to play for fools. Let's go out to Florida. What's up, Florida? 954.
What up? What up?
How you doing?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, brother.
Thank you.
I guess I'm behind about 20 seconds here, so I'll mute the chat. But mute this really quick. Yeah, it's Sean from South Florida. I called during the health episode. Man, I've been a avid follower, so to speak. I don't want to say follower, but learner and listener and receiver and all of that for about a year and a half now. Like a lot of people, I found you around the time of Kobe, or Kobe 19. Yeah, man, you just added so much immense value to my life, and I know to so many other people's lives that it's just you deserve the recognition. Not to bloat your ego, but brother, I just appreciate you more than I can explain in words. And add a little riddle here. I put it in you'll probably see it at some point. But Zachary Keith Hubbard, Keith, like that good Keith in the bottom of the grinder.
Indeed.
I bet those snacks are hitting you right now.
They're kicking in, man. They're kicking in. So
it takes a little while.
They're not super. They're not
like
super.
LSD sometimes it takes a little while, but
well, they're nice because they're more of a. The stuff she sent me is more of like a relaxed body, like make you want to go to bed. It's the stuff that my mom had in the brownies was just like everything, like smash your head. And that stuff my mom had was I don't know if you watched that stream, but it was crazy. So.
Which one? When your mom what?
Oh, I was out at my mom's house at the beginning of June, and this guy that she knows hooked her up with some weed brownies. But man, were they strong! They were like some of the strongest I ever had. So.
Yeah, you gotta be careful at the same time with some of the stuff, because like I said when I called into the health episode, some of this weed out here, man, is just sketchy, man. This government, it's just got government fingerprints all over it. I feel like anything in a bag, anything sealed, I'm sketchy about. Homegrown is a different story, but they want you to think that the home growers are the ones that are adding the chemicals, adding the Lysol, adding the whatever the fuck they're adding to.
Well, some are. There are some bad home growers. There are some bad. It's like they're putting like Miracle Grow in there.
Oh, of course. But I would be more apt to trust, someone in their house with
exactly.
their life,
Exactly. Yeah. There's good and bad in all things, but I completely get what you're saying. Yeah, I agree with that.
Of course. But anyway, if I may, Zachary Keith Hubbard, the human Gematrinator, the Jesuit Jouster, the Anthony Fausti Annihilator, or Assassinator, however you want to say it, the Psyop Samurai, the exposer of esoteric evil and false flag fuckery, the revealer and renouncer of really redundant and ridiculous rituals, a true menace to secret societies, the Society of Jesus, the Synagogue of Satan, the alphabet agencies, and the psychopathic, pedophilic parasites and positions of power that feed off humanity. You are a real leader, teacher, and inspiration to truth seekers and freedom fighters all across and around the world. Thank you for adding such immense value and truly worthwhile knowledge to my life and to the lives of so many others. Again, around and across the world. Across for all you flatterers and around for all you globers. I subscribe to neither because, I see, like a wise man once said, I think his name was Socrates, he might have just been a Jesuit creation anyway, might not have been a real person, but I know I am wise because I know nothing, essentially. I can never subscribe to anything other than concrete knowledge like you and like many people in this community, which, Gematria is one of those things. It's not to say that people can't stretch and make things out of nothing
Absolutely.
With Gematria, but when you use the code how you recommend it to be used and not just typing in sentences, so to speak, that is a concrete practice. Anyway, you're more than just a friend and teacher I look up to, Zach. You're my brother from another mother. Happy solar return, I think it's called. Happy life anniversary, fam. And yeah, man, infinite love and peace to you and yours and everyone in this community. Sonny, Bart, Richard, Brandon, Chigozi, Natalie, everybody. If I forgot your name, it's because I could just go on and on. I mean, the dozens and dozens of people in this community that I really appreciate, look up to, and love. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna have an after party in the Signal chat. Everybody, if you're not already using Free to Find Truth, I mean, really, truthfully, myself included, I need to be on it more. I need to use it more, but everyone needs to get on there because fuck these social media platforms that are just hell bent on collecting all of our data and fuck that shit, man. Really, we're about truth and seeking truth and connecting to other like-minded individuals who have the same goals and visions in mind. We need to get more serious, I think, about organizing and it's not overthrowing the tyranny. More importantly, organizing to avoid, sudden destruction. And
Indeed.
Oh, Chigozi, it's Sean, man. It's Sean Zander, brother. But anyway.
Well, great
much
call.
Love, much love.
Your call's been a true present, and I really appreciate it. So, what are you? Are you a musician? You do poetry? What is it? Or you just got inspired to?
Oh, you know what, man? Maybe I should after that, because I'll be honest, it didn't take me that much time to put that together. But
well, it's just good. Some of it was good. I liked how you did the flat and round thing too. I like that part.
That wasn't even in there. I ad-libbed that.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
I could sense that, but it was just keep doing what you're doing, man. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, brother. Much love.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Make me a mod.
What's your
I love you.
what's your handle?
You don't have to do that, man. I'm just fucking with you. But if you really want to, man, it's Sean Zander, Xander.
Okay.
My middle name's
When
Alexander.
I see it, I'll make you a mod because I appreciate your calling today. All right, appreciate it, man.
I'd love to get some trolls out of the combo too. So.
All right. Yeah, you'll get one when I see it.
I'll let some more people in. Happy B-Day, man. Much love.
Thanks, man. See it.
Take care.
And by the way, Rich, you're really great with words too. You're like one of the greatest poets that ever lived. Okay. And Rich, just have a sense of humor, man. Just laugh sometime. My God. He's going to write me 5 emails about how angry he is about what I'm doing in the show. Okay. Let's go out to New York City. What's up, New York?
Oh, shit, I got in.
You got it. You got it.
How you doing, Zach? I'm a long-time listener. Happy birthday, my friend. You are everything my son Xander just said.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
You do.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I'm one of the older ones. I'm in the community. I'm in your sports channel. I'm Jay, a.k.a. Z-Bone. People in the community read my motivation every day. So just
very cool.
Stay you, man. Stay you and breathe. Stay you and breathe.
Well, I appreciate it very much.
That's all I want to say, Zach.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate your support.
All right.
You have a good night.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
You as well.
For the record, he was on the line exactly 82 minutes when he got to go on. I like that number 82 because Zachary's 82. Technically, I was conceived in 82. I lived most of my life in Seattle. I didn't know Gematria. I didn't know Gematria the entire time I officially lived in Seattle. It's when I moved to the suburbs. It's when I moved to that weird town of Bothell. The town with hell in the name. I was like, something is so wrong with this place. It's the most wrong place I ever lived in. Something wrong here. But in Bothell, what's funny enough is in the most simple cipher, Bothell is 74, like Gematria, like English. They got a Masonic lodge right in that town, Masonic 74, Lodge 121. And what was weird is, the 4th of July, it was literally the first 4th of July that I lived there, I did not know Gematria. I started to get that house at the end of 2011. I got the keys to that house on Friday, January 13th, 2012. That's when I officially moved in. I moved out of Seattle. But Seattle, and the most simple cipher, 82, just like Zachary. So I spent most of my adult life so far. I mean, I'm up here from the Pacific Northwest. I'm from Portland, but pretty much moved to Seattle shortly after college and stayed up there until then we were in the suburb of Seattle, but now we're out here in the middle of the state in Yakima, where the weather's a lot better. But yeah, 82, man. And what else was weird is I had a Honda Civic for the longest time, and just because I didn't care about my car, and inexpensive car that held up, low maintenance, good gas mileage. I had that car forever. But I remember when I finally sold it and turned it in, when my weed business was going on, I got rid of that car. I just recently learned Gematria because this was like 2013 or 14. But I remember I just learned Gematria and I'd learned a thing about Zachary in Seattle in 82. And I noticed when I turned in my car that day, when I dropped it off at the lot and I knew I was going to do the trade-in, the last 2 miles on the digit were 82, right? And I was like, it's funny that's 82's there. But that wasn't the clincher, though. What was the clincher is when I got the new vehicle, it had 82 miles on it, right? It had 82 miles on the odometer when I got the truck, like when it was mine. So my car had 82 at the end, what caught my eye. And then when the truck, it had the 82. And, oh my God, I just thought that is so weird. And that was so many years ago now, but just ever since then, just picking up on the organic things, it's like, so that caller, he was on the line right for 82 minutes when he got to thank me on my birthday. I appreciate it. But anyway, next caller, Hawaii. Hawaii, how you doing?
Oh my God.
You're on.
Okay, so, hi. I had to get on you there. My gosh, I didn't even expect to get on, but thank you for everything, too. I really appreciate you also, and I noticed, I've only been on your call a few times, and I noticed how things happen in this call, and it's very serendipitous. And yeah, it's amazing. It's an amazing phenomenon. But I had something like that happen. I had this horse. Her name was Cherokee. She had a crown on her side. She was born on the 4th of July born on the 4th of July, and on her 18th birthday, she was at this place that had towers, and she got stolen. And I could tell you on and on these things that have been going on for me, and it's just incredible.
Well, I'm
like
sorry to hear that.
Organic.
I'm sorry to hear that happen, but yeah.
Well, but I mean, it was so tied into these things, and yeah, she was stolen on her birthday, and it was like she was 18, and her name was Cherokee, which represents America, and she has a crown on her side, and I mean, there's a lot to it.
Sure.
But I was just thinking of that. But there's there's magic afoot even without trying to, and she had a baby that was born right after I had formed this. I guess it would be called a church, and the date of the forming of the church was January 1st, 1999, which is 111999, and so I did that on purpose. But also, I'm saying that the universe kind of keeps going with it, like there's feedback, and I think that's why they do their rituals, because they get something from it, obviously, yeah. But I mean, I didn't do it to get anything from it. I do things like that to resonate in harmony.
Sure. Sure.
But the intention is a lot. And I'm really proud of you, how you handle things. And I'm sorry about that flat earth thing. It blows my mind quite a bit, and not everybody can handle that. And yeah, aloha, and thank you for taking this call. Aloha, bye.
You're so welcome. You have a good night.
Thank you, bye.
All right, take care, bye. Be sad if your horse got stolen. Any pet, All right, let's go out to Michigan. All right, we got the family affair going on. How you doing tonight, Michigan? Uh-oh. You know what's weird is, that went away. Let's see if he's on this line. Box number 2. There we go.
Brother Zach. Brother Zach. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
I was listening on the other line, the call and listen line that Truth Frequency has, and I wasn't going to call in tonight. I was working out on the fence line for about 4 hours. I was tired, and I called in, and I heard my brother, and I'm like, oh my God, I got to call in. Birthday. So, I like what Bart said, Zachary K. Hubbard for president. You got to start a Gematria party. That would really fuck him up, wouldn't it?
It would. Our whole thing is we're just campaigning on, look, they're total bullshit. They're total bullshit. If we're just a fraction of the bullshit, we're obviously better. That's how you guys vote, right? We're the lessest of the evils. So.
Right. No, that's too good. I do appreciate everything you do, and I've been listening for, man, it's got to be going on 6 years. When did you start with TFR?
I can't remember. I think it was either 2015 or 16. I can't remember now. It was one of those 2 years.
I know I didn't hear your first year, but I discovered I used to listen to Chris on GCN. That's the channel that Alex Jones was on, and then one day he gave out this number, the call and listen line for Truth Frequency, because I don't use a computer, and I called it, and I just accidentally found your show one day, a replay of it, and I was hooked, brother, forever. And I missed you last week, and your farmer buddy sure is steeped in the flat earth, and I don't mean to go off on flat earth, but I made a mistake when I said 1 inch times a mile squared when it was 8 inches times a mile squared, and I haven't heard or spoke about that in quite some time. So, forgive me for making a little mistake like that, but your buddy went off on me, your farmer, called me a fucking idiot. And,
Who
some
did?
people might think I'm a fucking idiot, but that guy is, I'll tell you what, he knows his freaking flat earth, trivia, so to speak. And does that make him a fucking idiot? I don't know, but I did like what he had to say, except for that part. Anyway, I will let everyone else come and wish you a happy birthday. Thank you so much, and I hope you have at least 100 more.
Well, I always appreciate the support, and yeah, I don't remember what the person said it on the show.
Yeah, he's a farmer that, the weed farmer. He started going off on flat earth, and he called me a fucking idiot because I made that mistake about the mathematics on measuring the curve of the earth. But then he said I was right about the 1,400 feet. So, he was a little buzzed, and it's all good.
All right, yeah, I don't think
I
yeah,
didn't get
maybe.
mad like Rich.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's not a nice way to say it, so. Yeah, maybe he didn't mean it that way, but yeah. All right, man, but I always appreciate you and your wife and your brother.
I didn't get mad like Rich. And, for Xander there, he came up with that poem so quickly because I was the one who emailed it to him.
Okay.
I'm joking.
All right. Well, I always appreciate the support, man. So you have a good rest of your night. Thanks for staying up for the show.
You too, man.
All right,
Enjoy your birthday.
Thanks,
See
man.
you, man.
Take care. All right, let's go out to San Antonio. San Antonio, you're on.
Hi, Zach.
Hello.
Hey, so I don't really want much. I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. I finally got the paperback number games yesterday in the mail.
Thank you.
Would have been kind of cool, I guess, if it came today, but yeah, it's kind of easy to remember your birthday because mine is on Saturday. But I do appreciate all the work you do. I don't want to hold up your line, but happy birthday, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you so much. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and thank you for supporting the book. That means a lot, so thank you.
Of course. I'm also on your Patreon, too, so just know we're here.
Thank you for doing that as well. I'm grateful for you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right, have a good night. All right. Appreciate everyone who supports. And again, if you guys are too young to support, that's fine. You know how you can support the work? Downloading the ebook that I made free, read it, and share the knowledge. That's actually the best way to support the work. Let's go out to Ontario, Toronto.
Hi, Zach. How are you?
Doing well. How are you, Natalie?
Things are not the greatest, but it continues as life continues, you know?
Yes, indeed. So.
Well, first to you, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Or as in Polish, they say 100 lat, which means 100 years.
Yes.
And then they say Vietnam, so may they live. That's it's a rough translation, but that's what that means. So I wish you 100 years and many, many blessings of good health for you and sweet lady, most of all.
I appreciate that so much, Natalie. Thank you very much for that.
Like, the things you have done is, like, wow, like, the people I have met. Like, Sunny is my ride and die, I see her in the chat. Like, Ben is my complete solid. Yes, I think yesterday I made Bart fall off the chair or something laughing because I made a comment about Bryson's cat. Like, we just got a community going where it's always like the little things that count when we lift our energies up in such a dark world. And, like, the person who did that is you.
Well, I think all of us did it, really. I mean, I might have been the spark, but it wouldn't have happened without you and everybody else you mentioned and everybody before that. And just, you know, it's always been a building community. I wish it would have happened faster, but I guess it's good that it's happening. That's the thing that matters. It's happening, and it'll get bigger if we all keep putting, some effort into it. So I appreciate that, Natalie. Thanks for being part of the community.
No problem. And I have one thing for you. 2 short weather control things for you. This will be quick. Germany has a flooding in the region of Bavaria. When I checked, it was 138. Yeah, it was 188 now. 188.
Well, you said it's in Bavaria. In Bavaria. Yeah. Again, Bavarian Illuminati is 188. They like that number, so that's funny. 188. That's
they like that number, right? And there were massive tornadoes and storms in southwest Ontario, so it was kind of intense here for a bit. And Barrie, Ontario, so 2 hours north of me, got really screwed up. So 8 injured, 4 serious, so 84. 3,800 people without power, so 38. So there you go. And that happened on storm is 22, and that happened 7:15. So that is 22. So there you go.
Well, great work. I'm glad you caught that story. I missed that one. It looks like the news broke on July 18th, too, about the 188 death toll. Amazing. It's amazing how they just do this over and over again. It's just, it is sick, too. But I appreciate it, Natalie. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. You should really be happy for bringing us all together. That was you. That's you that do that. You are so significant, and your work is so meaningful. I hope you enjoy your day with Sweet Lady and you, and just have fun on your birthday.
All right. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Thanks, Natalie. Keep up the great work. You have a good night, friend.
You too.
All right.
See you, Zach.
All right. Take care. Bye. It's funny. When she talks, I've never seen her, so I don't know what she looks like. But whenever she talks, I have a crystal clear face right in my mind. And that's my ex. And my ex is from Detroit. In Detroit, their voices sound so much, like some of the Canadians is right across the way. And she's also of Polish ancestry, so I think it's region and maybe even somehow a cultural accent. Polish people got a certain way of speaking. I don't know. But next up, let's go out to New York. New York, you're on.
Hey, Zach, what's up, man?
How you doing?
As good as you. Happy Earth Day, man.
It's been all right. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. So how's everything going, man? I've been getting in late, so I listen, but I don't, I guess I come in after Rambo speak.
I see. Just so you know, if you watch it on YouTube and you come in late, for anyone who doesn't know this, if you're watching the stream on YouTube, that little red bar at the bottom that's tracking the time, if you click on that and drag it all the way to the left, it'll rewind the whole stream and you can watch it from the beginning even if it hasn't finished.
Okay. Yeah. Shit, man, I'm checking. Do you get out the first book? Do you get it published anymore?
No one will print the first book still because it has the news articles in it. People say they can't print it for that reason. So.
So I gotta. If I print it, because you send me it by but if I print it, it's gonna cost too much to print it out.
I gotta figure out a way to get the first book. I think what I might have to do is just take a section out of that book and just print that section that doesn't have the news headlines, and then with the rest of the news part, figure out if there's something I can do with that. But Yeah, I'll work on a solution for getting, because some of the, like, I just wish people had the first chapter of the first book in print alone. The first chapter, I think, would hook a lot of people if they just read it. But, yeah, I'll work on that. So I appreciate you bringing that up.
Okay.
Anything else going on?
No, not really. Not really.
Well, thanks for always staying up for the show. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Okay, then. I'll talk to you next week, man.
All right, man. You have a good night. Take care.
You too.
All right. Bye.
All right.
All right. There's another veteran. What's up, Delaware?
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
What's up, man?
Not too much. Yeah, I just want to wish you a happy birthday and thank you for all that you've done for the community, because it's really inspiring, during times that we're living in, because there's people who are afraid to speak out, and there's ones who aren't afraid to speak out and get ridiculed for it and be called a wacky, conspiracy theorist. But yeah, I just want to thank you for all that you've done, because it's inspired me to continue to keep speaking out and to keep telling people that this whole thing that we're going through, this quote unquote pandemic is just a bunch of, bullshit. Like, there's just nothing, real about it. Like, if people would just cut the televisions off and, stop taking this jab that's God knows who knows what's even in it. It's just mind blowing how people are just going out and getting this thing knowing that it's not even approved by the FDA, and these testing forms, they have a bunch of chemicals that's not good for the body, and it's just
exactly.
I'm just really thankful.
What you're saying right now, it's just like, almost anytime I turn on the news, within like 5 minutes of turning it on, I'm ready to make a YouTube video about just how much bullshit they've already put out in that 5 minutes. But just our entire lifetimes, if you turn on the news, like even before COVID, like the nightly news, they're covering some new little illness outbreak that could be super bad. They're always making it seem like, God, death could be just around the corner. And they're just doing that every day with COVID, and they have these guests on. I saw some guest on CNN yesterday talking about that if you're not vaccinated with the Delta variant, it could be very deadly this fall. It's just like, can these people just, they're not held accountable for just getting on the screen and preaching all this fear. And most of it, it's our whole lives. It's the boy who cried wolf. The media always casting all this fear, gloom and doom. And for the most part, it's like, okay, we know the buildings came down on 9/11, and supposedly there were these big bad terrorists that we had to go to war with, or they'd be here. But meanwhile, our borders are wide open, and anybody can sneak in the country that they want to, and we haven't had anything happen here. But our government's supposedly keeping us so safe. But these high schoolers who have these long-standing social media histories, they can't. Just none of this stuff makes any sense when you start to think about it. And you realize it's just like, it's all fear and gloom and doom on that TV screen, and then you turn it off, and you're like, you know what? I don't see any of this stuff anywhere in my life. Nobody in the world right now would know that there was a pandemic if there wasn't a TV and internet and a radio. Nobody would know, no papers, none of that crap. If we just lived in society, nobody would notice anything different. We'd be like the Amish people right now who don't even know what's going on. You can't tell an Amish person there's a pandemic right now. They're like, what are you talking about? This is why we don't have electricity in our house. These people are psychotic. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it is definitely mind blowing. And one last thing. One of my friends told me that at the Nationals game where they had a supposed active shooter, he said that he found out that there was over 33,000 fans at the game. And I was like, wow, you gotta be kidding me. Yeah, just that number, 33, that they love to...
exactly, nonstop. It was on a Sunday, too. Never mind, it was on a Saturday. Yeah, that's right, it was on that's right, you guys, the national shooting was this past Saturday, 107 days after the season began on April Fool's Day, and every Saturday we're talking about, for years, we've been talking about Saturday shootings in 107, because in Gematria, shootings 107, Saturday's 107, Washington Nationals is 107. So a shooting at a Washington Nationals game on a Saturday, 107 days after the season began. Come on, you guys. We're saying, like, for years we've been saying, watch this pattern of 107 on Saturdays and nationally reported shootings. It's just, again, it's evidence of how the whole government and sports, they're all scripted together. Just this perfect script, day after day. It's so well orchestrated. You know, it's a joke, man. It's a joke.
Yeah, it truly is a joke. It's just, yeah, I'm just going to keep, riding on, just trying to wake people up. Like if I go to the grocery store or convenience store, just tell the, cashier what's going on and let them know that this is a bunch of bull crap and, just keep going.
Yeah. I'm going to look up that stat about the Nationals, though. Nationals does equal 33 in the most pure cipher. Like how they hadn't been in the World Series since 33 until they won it by the numbers 2 years ago. But yeah, it is, man. It's amazing how they just get away with the same thing and everybody just shrugs their shoulder at it. And somebody like you or I pointed out, they're like, you're looking into things too much. It's like, you're not paying attention at all, man. You're not paying attention.
I hate when people tell me, oh, well, you're in too deep into that gematria, or you'd be a tarot card reader if you're doing gematria. All the smart remarks are just foolish.
It is, man. It is. It's the idiocracy, man. Earlier I made that joke about, I can't remember what word I purposefully missaid, but that was for the idiocracy, man. It's just like, if you've never seen that movie, when I watch that movie, Idiocracy, it's either really annoying and not funny to me, but sometimes I'm in a frame of mind where I watch it and it's just hilarious. And I'm just like, God, this movie's too true. We're already living in this. But, have you ever seen it? Idiocracy? Have you seen that movie?
Oh, yeah, I have. Yeah, I've seen the movie. I've seen the movie numerous times. Okay. It's a good movie.
Okay, yeah. You were saying something, though.
Oh, do you think that, they would try and pull a lockdown with this new, quote-unquote, Delta variant in the fall or winter?
Well, just how they're hyping up all this fear for this fall with the Delta?
Yeah, do you think that? Do you think there could be potentially another lockdown?
Easily. Yeah, easily there could be another lockdown. Today they were saying that people need to put masks back on. Now that we're in the middle of summer, everyone needs to put their mask back on. Again. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we said. We said this could all go on through at least the start of 2022, possibly until 2023, the year of the tiger. I mean, that's what we said right from the beginning. So.
I hope not, because I'm just sick of it. I'm over it. I'm over people telling me, oh, you should get vaccines. I'm like, no, I'm not getting the vaccine because I don't trust the government. And the fact that these vaccines were rushed out, and then the private emails with Anthony Fauci, and the funding of the money with the laboratory in Wuhan, China, and everything else I know, is like, why would I even get that? And even if my new job tried to tell me the same thing, I'm gonna tell them what I know. Like, hey, there's a certain law out there that's the U.S. Code 360 BBB3 states that I don't have to wear a mask or get vaccinated. Like there's like all these governors and senators, they're breaking federal laws with using our money for roulette wheels and lottery systems and things of that nature. And it's like, nah, none of stuff is cool anymore. Like none of it's cool. None of it.
Indeed. Well, I appreciate you, man, and I'm glad you're out there putting up the fight every day and dealing with these people, because I mean, we're all going through the same thing. So appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
All right, you have a good night. Take care.
You too, man. Thank you. You too. Always appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I didn't mean to cut him off. Sorry, man, but appreciate you. He's a veteran. He's been calling in forever. He knows how long the show's been on, because I think he's been calling in the whole time. What's up, Arizona?
Oh, hey, man, what's going on? Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I wanted to call in. I've been trying to get through for like the past, I don't know, I would say maybe 2 weeks or so. Because there was like 2 weeks ago where you had done a video, or you went live for a couple minutes, and in the video you were saying that you were like kind of frustrated because you feel like for some reason or another, it's really hard to, you want to get, a community together and, you were like, why is it, you feel like the price of everything is going up and, on to, buy land and, so that way you could just, I feel like maybe that's what you really want to do, your ultimate goal,
Indeed. Yeah, and I realize that there's a closing window for these kind of opportunities right now. That's what I realize. It's late in the game.
Yeah, so the reason why I wanted to call in is because, well, first of all, I also, last week or 2 weeks ago on TFR, a guy called in and he told you that you were really, blessed and you were gifted. And I just wanted to kind of reaffirm that with you because, I'm not a stupid guy by any means, but I think it really truly does take a gift to be able to look at the gematria the way that you look at it and the way that you're able to apply it to things, and you can kind of see the unseen if that makes any sense, and you know how to connect dots that truly a lot of people don't know how to do, man. So I wanted you to know that I really do think that you have a gift, and you can do a lot of good things in the world with that gift that you have.
Sure, and that's what that's what I've always tried to do. I guess that's kind of what I realized. I realized as a younger person that I was kind of like a caretaker in the world. Because when I moved, there was younger kids in the neighborhood, and I was out there teaching them how to ride their bike without the training wheels. Play basketball, dribble, just coaching up these younger kids. And so I always like helping out other people. And then I realized when after I got out of college, I wanted to go back to helping people and work in the group home and became a teacher and. So I've always wanted to give back and share information and help other people do better, but I've also just been really sickened by my whole adult life, just 9/11 on, by the obvious lies and tyranny and the fact that nobody cares, and worse than not even caring, they have such a bad attitude about the truth, they attack you for pointing out what's obviously wrong. And it's just frustrating to just watch it all happen for 20 years and see it coming a mile away and just watch it unfold and still everyone's asleep. It's oh my God, this is just like what I thought it might be like. Well, I'll be going to hell and they still won't see it. Well, here we are. This is exactly what I was worried about.
Yeah, and a lot of it is just a matter of, I think that the powers that shouldn't be, but that are, want to have their, just be a psychological prison for a lot of people. That's their main goal is the further down the totem pole they can push everyone else, and the higher up they can bring themselves, the better. It's just really sketchy that now, just this year, you're seeing all these billionaires suddenly being let's make rockets and try to see how far out of Earth we can get. And, okay, all that money that you spent on your freaking rocket could go to so much more, but maybe they just know something we don't know, and that's why they're trying to get the hell out. But I did want to say, though, in regards to, the price of everything going up, I've been trying to figure out with Gematria if I could explain it, but I did want to let you know that, in terms of what's going on is really just, inflation. The media is really good at lying to everybody, obviously. And, you see a lot of these, people saying, oh, well, the price of wood has gone up because supply and demand, but don't worry, the price of wood will go back down. And then, when the price of wood is supposed to go back down, they come out and say, oh, well, the lumber suppliers are keeping the prices up because they can charge it if they want to. And same thing with meat. They're oh, the meat factories are getting hacked and it slowed down production, and the Suez Canal and everything's backed up. So that's why prices are high. But don't worry, it'll come back down. But really, what it is it's inflation. They just want to lie to as many people for as long as they can until people kind of catch on and say, okay, no, like.
Well, the other thing they're doing,
thing.
this is what they've done historically, but they're doing right now is unprecedented times, and funny stuff's already been going on with money for a long time. I mean, the Fed printing a lot of money and injecting it into the market, and there's been all sorts of crap going on even before COVID and all this stimulus. It's just it's getting. Eventually, it will reach a breaking point, and then there will be hyperinflation, and then that's how currency collapses. And you know they have that planned for us. They have the planned destruction of the dollar, which will be a worldwide event. All world currencies are pegged to the dollar, meaning all their values are through the dollar. And it's been that way since the end of the world wars, because this is a new world order agenda. And again, you guys, that Economist cover from 1968 with the Phoenix coming out of the burning Bucs. Again, I really don't think it's an accident that was 33 years ago, and I don't think it's an accident that your finals was the Phoenix and the Bucs. The Phoenix Suns and the Bucs. 33 years after this cover. Again, that's a big number at the NBA Finals every year. NBA Finals 33. Last night it was tied up at 33 after Chris Paul got the easy lay-in number 3. And remember, Bitcoin. Bitcoin had this article up on their website on January 2nd. The day that Bitcoin hit 33K for the first time. And we know who runs Bitcoin, the same people who run The Economist, the Jesuits. And so, again, this symbolism of Bucs. By the way, again, the Bucs won 62 games this season. Dollar equals 62. And don't forget, in light of Brady being at the White House, Brady went to Florida to play for the Buccaneers, Pirates, money, theft, bankers, Templars, how all this stuff's connected. The Knights Templar became Pirates after they were, kicked out of France and chased all through Europe. The Knights Templar became pirates, and the Knights Templar are the original bankers. So there's all this symbolism. But Tom Brady went to the Bucs the same week that the CARES Act passed, which is about printing this $6 trillion and some dollars, which is all devaluing our currency. And again, that was the beginning of a big move for something that has obviously become more and more normal, and looks like it's going to become more and more normal. CNN tonight was talking about with Joe Biden about how they should print out even more money and give even more stimulus. It's just like, it's like cheerleading our destruction, and that's what the media always has been. But this NBA Finals is symbolic, no doubt, and perhaps this was the one that they really had all this time right here. This cover might be the proof of that. So.
Yeah, and it's kind of interesting because like the Feds will always lie. They're like saying, oh, the inflation's 2.5% and it's transitory, et cetera, but the truth is it's closer to like 7%. But they're really good at just lying and kicking the can. But something that you said that is really interesting is you said that it's weird that the Federal Reserve has printed a bunch of money, which because of stimulus checks and all that, and they want to print another $4 trillion, and it's all fake. It's all backed off of fake debt anyway. But there's a thing that I don't know if you're familiar with it, but it's called a reverse repo pool. Do you know what that is?
So repossession. How does this work though?
So a reverse repo pool, it's called like a repo is a repurchase agreement pool. So what happens is it's an overnight thing where like as soon as like banking hours end until banking hours like begin, a lot of like money makers or hedge funds or financial institutions, they can offer collateral like bonds, and they can pull money out of the pool, the reverse repo pool, and the money is put there by banks and by extension probably the Federal Reserve, like they know that the money's going in there. But what they do is as of today, July 21st, they had put $886.2 billion in this overnight repo pool, and pretty much what they do is the banks don't want cash on hand because their cash is a liability. it's like the reverse of what normal people or normal businesses want. They want more cash. Banks want more collateral and less cash. So what they can do is they have this reverse repo pool that they're putting almost $900 billion in every day, and a lot of junk bonds and rehypothecated bonds from these, money makers and financial institutions are going in there, and the banks hold the bonds overnight, and these financial institutions show money on their books overnight. So, they can really easily cook the books. They can pass fake stress tests. They can show having much greater capital on hand and much more liquidity on hand than they really have. And then what they do is, as soon as the markets open or banking hours start, they just kind of shoot all the money back to the bank, and the bank gives them their junk bonds back. But it's a pretty dangerous game of, if these bonds really, they're gonna eventually find out they're junk and they're rehypothecated, which means nobody really knows who owns the bond because it's been circulated so many times. But the bond rating is going to drop, and once the bond ratings drop, it's going to be game over. They're not going to be able to offer as many bonds and get as much money back, and they don't, so it's a whole big thing. But what I really wanted to say by getting into this with you is, I get where you're coming from with, like, feeling like really frustrated because you're like, hey, I just want to get money so I can do good for the world, and there's all these people that just have all this money and do nothing good for the world. But I just, I don't know if trying to figure out using Gematria to try and like work the stock market is something that you've ever considered, or if it's a possibility.
It's absolutely a possibility. It's absolutely a possibility. Sometimes I think I should just focus on that all the way. That'd make people mad if I did that, but yeah, absolutely. It's like how we saw that Moderna vaccine was going to blow up, and there'd be big stock news on May 7th, 2020. We had that date circled for that. That's exactly what happened that day. Moderna became approved for phase 2 testing, the first by the FDA, and their stock price shot way up. There was one woman in the community who made $10,000 off that. She called into a live stream and said, Zach, I got to tell you, I made $10,000 off the Moderna stock. She's like, I kind of feel guilty investing in it, but... And then somebody called in right after that, like, you better tip him some money for that. And then she sent a $100 tip right away, which was nice of her. But anyway, yeah, absolutely. So you study the stock market with this knowledge. And the reason we knew it'd be May 7th is because Moderna and vaccine are 57, and Bill Gates is 57, and he backs Moderna. And so it's just the stuff. All of this stuff is very easy to do when you just see how simple the application is. Know the value of the word, see what rituals they're doing with that and the news with that, and then be like, okay, let's see how they do the stock market with that. It's the same thing. It's the same stuff with the sports. So, and that's what I meant to say. The Bucs got their 62nd win last night. The word dollar with the most simple cipher is 62. So it's like, I mean.
I'll say this too, man. So there's the stock market, which like we all think of, like, CBOE and the New York Stock Exchange. That's kind of what you think of when you like think of the stock market. But there's something called dark pools in the stock market, and those are not a lit market where pretty much big transactions happen in the dark pools, and you can't really pinpoint if it's a buy or if it's a sell. You just see these big block orders coming through for like a lot of money, and these orders can actually take like weeks or months even to fulfill because they're trying to do hundreds of millions of dollars, and they need time to allocate, all the shares or the bonds or the forex, whatever they're trying to buy or sell. There's a lady that actually has access to the dark pools. It's hard to get access to it to actually see what's going on, but she goes by the stock whisperer. Her name is Stephanie, and she did an interview where she straight up said, like, I mean, I've never seen somebody that was on Wall Street or into Wall Street say this, but she said, there's people that they talk to each other through the dark pool. And I think what she meant by that is Gematria, because she said she sees it all the time where For the best example she had is the day before that Vegas shooting happened, where the guy shot up the country music festival. She said that there's a stock that pretty much is a holding for all the casinos in Vegas, and that stock sold off massively, like in the dark pools, the literal day before, like, you know, because the shooting happened that night. And she said that she's seen it a lot with,
and
you
again,
know, terrorists.
It makes so much sense. Yeah, exactly. It shows you that there's an insider club. That Larry Silverstein getting that big insurance. The World Trade Center just happened to go into private hands just right before 9/11. That's just another coincidence. This Larry Silverstein. But, yeah, it's if you weren't here back then, that my channel got taken down for the first time a few months. It got taken down June 28th, 2017, a few months before that shooting in Vegas, and all year we had those dates circled for a massive false flag event. And what's funny is looking back at it, Jason Aldean, yeah, we knew for sure it was happening because it was synced up with Yom Kippur and the date was just right, and just Yom Kippur is about atonement for your sins, so Sin City gets shot up in the ritual. But Jason Aldean, who had a music video, if you watch, there's so much to it. But his name, looking back, I didn't cover it at the time, but Jason Aldean is 201. I'm like, look at that. They had the 201 singer when they did the shooting.
Oh my gosh, man. See, yeah, all that stuff, man, it's crazy that you can draw those connections because, I mean, I'm very, you know, I'm very religious. I'm very into my Christianity, and, you know, I pay a lot of attention to things like, you know, the Jewish holidays, and I pay attention to the actual Jewish calendar too, because I've been trying to get myself more, you know, familiar with, you know, hey, how do these numbers really work? Because Gematria was created by the Jewish people, man. They were master code workers, and they were, you know, Neri means king of the Jews. They made that up when they were in Babylon being enslaved. They knew how to talk to each other. It's insane. But
hey, absolutely everything you're saying I agree with. You're making a lot of great points. I also want to remind people that another signal that seemed to be before that event in Vegas was who died. There's somebody in Vegas who has a road named after him, Hugh Hefner. He died just days before that on September 27th, which is the day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome. And that was a Wednesday. I know that was a Wednesday because we were doing TFR when the news broke. And so, again, I think that was a flag, what you just said about the stocks being sold off. No doubt. That just shows you what an insider... And I mean, exactly. If somebody like you has that knowledge that that's happening and other people are aware of things like this, how can the government that's supposedly looking out for all the corruption and stuff not be all over this stuff all day? You know what I mean? It just shows you. They're all in cahoots. It's so obvious.
I'm telling you, man. If I obviously I don't want to take up the whole show, but if we had some time, man, I could really go in depth and explain to you what is going on in the market with the SEC, FINRA, the DTCC. I mean, I guess it should have always been known that it's all a joke, but dude, they all are literally just they hire each other. Like, some guy will retire from the SEC and he gets hired by a hedge fund, or a hedge fund guy steps down and he gets hired by the SEC. And, you know, they're so good at jicking the system, man. It's crazy. I mean, money is just a joke to these people, but yet they still want to hoard it all and do terrible things with it. But I mean, yeah, Zach, if getting into the stock market is something that you could do, man, with your skills, I mean, you know, you could probably make a lot of money and do a lot of crazy things and good things with that money. I did want to ask you one quick question because I don't want to hold you up too long, but are you ever kind of like worried about your safety for the things that you say and thinking like people might want to try to like silence you or anything?
Well, I try not to worry about it too much. There's already been some weird things that have happened, but yeah, and it wouldn't make me stop anyway. I mean, it's just like, you know, I don't know if you ever listened to Mark Passio, but if I was Mark Passio, he would have a not nice answer to your question. He's not nice about that question. Don't take this the wrong way. His response to that question is that if you even have that question, you're a pussy. That's what he says. Because he says you're worried about something bad happening to you, and that's going to keep you from doing the right thing, well, you must be a pussy. And I don't say it the same way, but I get where he's coming from, because yeah, that's exactly, at the end of the day, it's like, that is why I just try not to worry about all that, but yeah, that could happen. That's what Sweet Lady worries about all the time. But it's like, if we don't speak up and do something, we are all fucked. And that's the reality, man, that people don't want to face. Everyone's like, well, I don't want to stick my neck out there to stop what's coming. It's like, well, if nobody sticks their neck out, we're all going to get it, so...
Yeah, well, you're man, you're really brave for doing what you do and doing it every day. I know that you've been frustrated lately, man, but you know, I guess it's one of those things where, you know, you just gotta do what makes you happy, and if making the videos makes you happy, then you know it sucks that there's gonna be haters out there that try to bring you down, but you never know, man. There might be paid shills just trying to derail you from bringing the truth out there, you know.
It's very possible. I've had some really weird stuff happen if you're newer here. I don't want to tell the whole story, but I mean, there's been a lot of stuff. A car crashed through my house on Christmas Eve 2016, if you don't know that. And there was another YouTube channel the week before that happened putting out these really weird videos with a black and white checker mask, and it started with like this Hollywood-like production with lightning strikes, and the light lit up the darkness in the room, and you can see a woman's all tied up with duct tape over her mouth. Comes in with this intro, and then a guy in a checkerboard mask telling me I better know the numbers for Christmas Eve and some other weird crap. You put out like 4 videos, and then I ended up having a car crash through my house. And I wasn't at home when it happened. Whoa. It was really annoying because my family's down in Portland. I was living up north of Seattle, so I had just gotten down to Portland, and then I got the police notifying me that I need to get home because you can just walk right into my house because a car crashed through the wall. It seemed like it was a bad joke. But, yeah, I mean, so, and that'll be 5 years ago in December, and I mean, I'm still here to tell about it, but I do think some of these things would not have happened if I never started sharing this work, but at the end of the day, I don't have any contracts with these people. I feel like that's when you're really in danger to these people, is like if you signed on the line with them somewhere, and I never did that. So I am just, as far as I know, I think I'm fine. I mean, maybe they do get rid of people because they're too much of a threat, but look, I mean, very little impact in the world in 8 years of doing this. So and it's harder than ever to speak out, get information out now with all the censorship. So I honestly don't think that I'm any kind of threat to them, man. I wish I was more of a threat to them at this point, but I think they realize that like humanity's not moving. We got them right where we want them. They're all in line for the vaccine.
That's true.
So,
well, I'm glad you made it see another birthday, man, and you know, like hopefully get 100 more birthdays out of life, and
I would love to be 138. That would be awesome.
Yeah,
138. Biblical age. All right, man. I appreciate it. You have a good night.
Yeah.
All right, take care.
Yeah, you too, man.
All right, see you. His call might have been really long, but I think he was making some good points. It seemed like it was a long call. We're actually on the commercial break right now on TFR, and we've done that a few times tonight. Let me go out. Here's where we're going: New Mexico, then Houston, then Carbondale, Illinois, then Florida, then Rochester, then Maryland, then Canoga Park, California, then Atlanta, then San Diego. But here's Angel. I got to meet Angel down in Portland. How you doing, Angel?
I am doing great. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Really called for to wish you happy birthday. And I was gonna sing it to you in Arabic, but don't laugh at me.
Oh, no. Are you gonna say it? I'd like to hear it. I'd like to hear how it sounds.
Okay, so Sana helwa ya Jamil, Sana helwa ya Jamil. Sana helwa, sana helwa, sana helwa, ya Jamil.
I appreciate that. I could recognize that in any language, I suppose. I didn't realize you were going to sing me the song. I thought you were just going to say the phrase for how you say happy birthday. Okay, so that's how it sounds.
I could say happy birthday too. So you do that also. It's Eid Milad Saeed. Wait, hold on. Eid Milad Saeed, and that's like the day of your birth. Like holidays are always Eid, so the holiday of your birth.
Very cool. Very cool. Thank you so much for that. I've never heard happy birthday in the language, so that was something brand new. You learn something new every day. I appreciate that very much. Thank you, Angel.
No problem, and I hope your day was lovely, and that's all I wanted.
All right. Did you make it home? You had a long drive. You made it home okay? No problems?
Oh yeah, I'm pretty good when it comes to the road. I drove straight. It was about like 26 hours, and then when I got home, I just crashed. So
amazing.
But I drove straight there too. So
amazing, amazing. All right.
Yeah, I like the road better. I don't do airplanes because of that special search and my name being what it is. I don't do that.
Truly. Well, good call. All right, Angel. Well, thank you so much for making the day extra special. I appreciate it.
You have a lovely one. Good night.
All right. Yeah, you too. Bye. All right. Let's go out to Houston. What's up, Houston? Houston? Hello? Maybe Houston just listened. Thanks for calling in, Houston. Sounds like they're driving. Let's go out to Illinois. Illinois, you're on. 618?
Yes, sir. Happy birthday, Zach.
Thank you.
The birthday present is that the NBA playoffs are over.
Exactly. Hey,
Nice.
yeah, you stole my line. That was the first thing I meant to say today. I don't think I said it all day. That's exactly how I felt. I'm like, I'm so glad these NBA playoffs are over. Talk about a birthday present, man. These things have been a headache and a half.
Happy birthday, bro.
Exactly,
We appreciate
man.
everything you do. The said and the unsaid. You already know. To add on to it, I heard Skip Bayless today say that Giannis shot 62% in the final.
What, at free throw line? Or just for a field goal percentage?
No, all together. Just field
Oh
goal
my
percentage,
God,
62%.
man! That's how scripted it is, man. And again, I got to call out that Game 5 ending. It was the longest I watched of any. I watched the final 2 minutes of Game 5. When I started watching, the Suns were down 3. They got a lay-in. There should have been a foul call. They got hammered on the lay-in. No call, but it made it a 1-point game. Had there been a foul, he would have had a chance at the free throw and tie it up. But it kept him down 1. Then Milwaukee came down, had a trash possession, missed their shot, and missed a real ugly, ridiculous shot. But then Phoenix had a chance to take the lead. But anyway, in the time all this was going on, man, just so much contact, so many fouls. But you're like, well, they're not calling it both ways. They're just letting them play really hard and rough. And that's why you hate watching the NBA, because it's like some days they're officiating like that, some days they're calling everything. It's like they're not even fouling. But they're letting all these just blatant fouls go that get called all day in the NBA and anywhere in basketball. It looked like a football game, actually. But then at the very end, there's this alley-oop play to Giannis, and he dunks it down, and nobody's even touches him. The closest guy's probably 2 feet to him, and the ref blows the whistle for the and one. It's like, what? Okay, you just did not call like guys colliding, like smashing into each other and both falling to the ground, just no calls all over, and then that's a foul? This is why the NBA is just such a joke to watch. And by the way, the crew chief last night to close it out was number 48. It's sick, man. The coach of the Bucks got his 48th win all time in the playoffs, Mike Budenholzer, and Milwaukee Bucks in the most Pierce Cyphers 48. It's just, the stuff is so scripted, it's sickening, man.
Did you see the other day somebody posted in the chat that the Phoenix mayor's 201? She's a 201.
It doesn't surprise me. They got Project 201 at the renovation stadium. The season ends on the 201st day of the year. Had it made it to that Game 7,
it
it
was
would have been
93 days before her birthday. I thought it was going to make it to 91 days in 2
Phoenix.
days. Or tomorrow will be 91 days. Phoenix, 91.
That's the stuff that
There
makes
was
you wonder,
much,
man.
They had it set up, man, for that Game 7. They're glad they got it out in Game 6 because it was over in Game 7.
Game 7 was the 203rd day of the year. Phoenix, Arizona, 203. I mean, everything
They
was...
scored 203 in the game.
I saw that.
Instead of going to 203, man.
And the way these NBA playoffs were, where everything was like almost there was games here and there, like the game on July 14th. That was just 147. Again, you guys, on July 14th, they had one of the games this year, and in that game, the Suns became 147 and 147 in the playoffs all time. That date's written 14/7, like 147. The Bucks became 14-7 in this year's playoffs, and they stayed on 147 all-time playoff losses. I mean, all that on that date, and the spacing of the games
And now
was...
the Suns are on 147.
Right, exactly.
The Suns stayed on 147 wins, and I think that's the Chris Paul, in tribute to Chris Paul's grandpa. He stayed on the wins instead of... And how can they make it so close where 61 and 62? They can always make it where it's just one away. So
that's how the whole NBA playoffs were, though. It was like everything was coded so that it's crazy, guys. For those of you who don't understand Gematria, it's hard to
As soon
explain.
as I seen the Bucks at the White House, man, it was I got my heart sank. I was like, yeah, I gave people bad info, man.
Yeah, well, that's why I told everybody you got to hedge big on the Bucks for that game because I said you're probably going to lose your son's money.
That was a great call. That was a great call.
You had to,
seen
man.
Giannis shot 17 for 19 from the free throw line last night.
Isn't it such mockery, man?
17 and 19.
And they said they allowed 17,000 fans. And again, NBA 17. It's like that's how serious COVID is that they allow a certain fan amount that goes with the NBA gematria. That's how serious COVID is.
Last night was Giannis fulfilled the Kobe challenge. The Kobe challenge came on Freemasonry's birthday in 2019. It was 757 days, like Boeing 757, the one that crashed. And
by the way, you just saying 757 reminds me of what I had to talk about. Jeff Bezos, if you saw what he was saying on TV, he said they're now going to begin developing the 787 for space travel. And it's but think about it. Think about where he is. He's up in Seattle. What's headquartered in Seattle? Boeing, known for making these numbers these planes with this number series. So it's just like you just see what just a big show.
Where is Devin Booker from?
I don't know where he's from. I don't know.
Because the Seattle thing, Giannis took out Kevin Durant, and the Seattle thing, and I think it always ties in back to Seattle, man. They always speak of Seattle.
He's from Missouri. He's from Missouri.
Okay.
Well, you know what's interesting about that? Hold on. What's interesting about that is that he's from Missouri. Just like how this is all synced up with Brady and the Bucks, who just beat the team from Missouri. Come on, man.
Oh my God, bro. Every time you look at it closer, man, it make you more sick, bro. I rejected, really what it was, I found every other pathway that they could go except to end on the 201st day of the year because it was too obvious, man. I couldn't, but that's what they do. And then to put the cherry on top of it, they had the Bucks go to the White House on that day.
And that's when I knew it was over. That's why I was like, okay, it made too much sense because we already knew that they were syncing up the Bucks playoffs with the Super Bowl. We've been documenting that in the playoffs. And then so they're there, and it's like, okay, well now we have one reason. Because see, before we realized the Bucks were going to the White House on that day, to me it looked like the Suns were going to win that game and get their 56th road win all time in the postseason because it was all about 56. That's why those teams were there. But then I was like, wait a minute, I did not know about this White House thing. And I said, now we got a reason to stay on 55. They just won Super Bowl 55. The Tampa Bay Rays are on 55 wins today. And don't overlook that the Rays went from 55 to 56 wins the day the Bucks won the finals, and Bucks is 56, and Bucks is 11 the small way, and Brady's next Super Bowl is the 11th, and next year's Super Bowl 56. So I'm starting to think, even though that I was not thinking this was going to be Brady's year, I'm starting to think more and more like, oh my God, they are going to do this again. They're going to put this guy in here again, man. And we'll see, man. Again, Baltimore. Go ahead.
What was it?
Go ahead.
Baltimore. He held Ayton to 12-6. You know, Giannis with the 12-6 birthday, and it was Kobe's, challenge or whatever. He held Ayton to 12-6. So Skip just had to say, and Ayton only scored 12-6. Whatever other day, he said something about Giannis had stepped in bounds before he passed the ball in. So whenever he passed the ball in, his foot was in bounds, but the ref didn't call it. He said, and he did that at 14.7 seconds left on the clock. That was the day that they did the 147.
Yeah, oh my! And that's how it is too.
7 seconds. He didn't call it.
That's why I can't watch it anymore, because I feel like I have to make a video about everything, but then I get more frustrated every time I do a video and still nobody cares. I'm like, what's wrong with all the idiots, man? How can people not see what they're doing?
Oh, and to add to your when you went to Seattle, when you went to Seattle, the first song dude played was "I Kissed a Girl" equals 201.
You're right. That's what it was. I was like, this, because he went from, that's right. He started with the Katy Perry song. I was like, what guy gets out here and blows me out with Katy Perry?
Girl. I was like, let me throw this in the Gematria. I was like, I'll bet you it equals 201.
Are you kidding me? You're right. That's exactly what song he played first. Let me see. We better do some research on that Lion King and Hakuna Matata, because I know that's what he played second. I was like, this guy is a joke, man. Wow, you guys. So see, and what was funny is when I first made that comment video, there was like 5 comments, like out of the first 10 comments on the video, there were 5 people who left a message that I was paranoid and that guy was just out there, and I was just like, who are these people commenting right away? I suggested that something was up because as soon as I got to Seattle, as soon as I got there, before I even said a
It
word.
seemed real funny, man. That seemed real funny. I was like, what?
Yeah, I didn't even say anything. That guy came up to me right away. He came up to me right away as soon as I got there, like he knew I was going to be there. And it was easy to know I was going to be there because I announced on YouTube that I was going to be there on that date at that time, and that's when I got there. But he was right there waiting for me, and he says, if you get on that megaphone, I'm going to blow you out because I got my speaker here. Wow. You guys, that is the truth. That's exactly what now, because I couldn't remember until you said it, but now it came back into my head. I was like, that. I just remember he's playing all this pop music.
That's the one.
But then he also had... He had a Kuna Matata second, but then it was all a bunch of pop songs like the Katy Perry song. I Kissed a Girl and I Like It. That's exactly what he played. Oh my God.
And a couple weeks ago, I called about whatever I told you, all the...
And hold on, let's pause right here. Let's pause. It's not only 201, it's also 84 like Jesuit and 60 like Order and 123 like Conspiracy. But look at this. You guys, this is why I'm also not afraid of these people. You see, that I don't, like, they might kill people if they have to, but that's obviously not, I don't think that's their starting tactic. This is how they are fucking with me, though. You guys, this was a real fuck with you, and that is why they played that song first. I'm there to talk about Event 201, and these fuckers are there to ruin the thing, blasting I Kissed a Girl, which fucks up the whole stream. And not to mention, I did do it on the day leaving 201 days left in the year, so I guess they put it right back on me, but, yeah, man, unbelievable. Wow, I'm glad you caught that.
I'm gonna get off here. I know the chat probably cussing me out, but the Bucs did get to 142 wins, coronavirus 142, whatever. And I also called like months ago, whenever I told you that Bryce Maximus James or whatever equals 201, that Chris Paul is his damn godfather.
I saw somebody in the chat said there's a Chris Paul commercial where there's a deer running wild in the garage. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I didn't look at it up, man. I was just like, I'm done. I'm done with the NBA.
I gotta find
1,000. What did he say? 1,042 points was scored in the game. 1,042 to 1,041, and LeBron's on 14-1 right now in the first round. Blah blah blah.
It's all a joke, man. Well, hey, really good observations, and this I Kissed a Girl thing makes me want to. You guys, let's go back to Seattle, but this time I need a gang of people down for the cause, and I guess the money that got donated for the month I'll use on your bail. But no, this guy.
Exactly. I gotta figure out how to get there from Illinois, man. I'm trying to link up.
This dude has it coming, man. But what a joke! What a joke! What a joke, man.
Yeah, they're all scumbags. I'm out of here, man. Happy birthday from Nate, man.
I appreciate it, Nate. Great catch. Great catch.
All right. Appreciate it.
What I want to know is how come he didn't tell me that sooner? That was over a month ago. And how come nobody else caught it? Somebody saying, why didn't I catch it? I didn't even think to decode the damn song. That's exactly... You guys, he had like stadium speakers. I mean, the sound was so huge. He turned on, center of Yeah, man, he had a fold-out table, laptop, and this huge-ass speaker. It was stupid, man. It was stupid. Wow. You see, guys, man, they do work by the numbers. I lost track of where I was in line. Is it Houston? Houston, is it your turn? Oh, I remember. I went to Houston. That's why I forgot about Houston, because they didn't pick up last time. They're just driving or something. Let's go out to Bronson, Florida. That's where we are. Florida? You're on, Florida.
You're on. Zach, happy birthday, bro.
Thanks, man.
Thanks. How you doing, man? Hey, I just got a little birthday present for you. If you punch in COVID-19 vaccination depopulation in the Gematriator, you would enjoy the response.
What is it?
What is it? It is 322-142. 322 English ordinal. COVID-19 with the characters 1 and 9, and the vaccination depopulation.
That's wild, man, because March 22nd was the city. A lot of cities locked down for the first time, including New York, and coronavirus 142. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's not a coincidence. I mean, I know it is a big
combination of words, but shit, man, they're pretty capable from what we've seen.
Yeah, it's a good observation. Appreciate that.
Yeah, this is Frog, man, Frog Bloody, because I was just thought you'd enjoy that one. I also remind you about that 201, that the iVent 201, the respirator that came out years before Event 201 ever came, and COVID ever came.
Yeah. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Some other good stuff. And also, the other day with the rocket launch, I was typing in New Shepard rocket into the Gematrinator, and it was the 201st day of the year, and I accidentally put 2 P's in it, and it actually sums to exactly 201 with 2 P's in New Shepard rocket.
Interesting. Appreciate it, man.
Which, could be very organic, whatever, But anyways, man, just wanted to say happy birthday, and thanks for all the work, man. And like one kid was saying earlier, and you definitely your shows, your live streams, it gives another purpose into something that's real. Like I said, I came from a religious community. I was even a preacher for a while, but there was never anything real. It was all conjecture. But math doesn't lie, doesn't have opinions. Numbers don't have an agenda unless you make them, and when you do, it's very obvious. If anybody who is capable of critical thinking can see, as you've made very aware. But man, you're doing awesome work, and just keep it up, brother. Happy birthday.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. You have a good night.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Have a good night.
All right, we're getting some feedback, but good call anyhow. And let's go out to Rochester. What's going on, Rochester?
Hey, Zach. How's it going? It's Michael.
What's up, Michael?
Not much. Just calling to wish you a happy birthday, and I wanted to run something by you real quick.
Yeah.
I got this book I ordered on Amazon. It's called Weather Warfare: The Military's Plan to Draft Mother Nature.
Huh.
Have you heard of that book?
I'm looking it up. Weather Warfare.
It's pretty good.
The military's plan to draft Mother Nature?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a very interesting read. I'm like halfway through it, so it's pretty good so far.
Interesting. All right, I'm gonna look into it.
Yeah, it's pretty much just going. He pretty much just goes in about how the weather. Obviously, the weather's manipulated with the HARP and everything else, and I just figured I'd run that by you real quick.
All right, I appreciate that, Michael. I'm gonna look more into this book. Thank you.
All right, brother. You have a good night. Happy birthday again.
All right, thanks, man. You have a good
No
night.
problem.
I see this book came out in 2006, and that was shortly after Katrina. There was a lot of information being circulated at that time about weather warfare. That was kind of my awakening, was after Katrina, researching the weather and something up here with weather? Because something doesn't make sense about this whole Katrina story. So, yeah, I'll look into that, Michael.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, Zach.
All right, thanks, man.
Thank you.
I'm guessing a lot of what's in that book is the same type of stuff I was researching back then. But I will look into that. Let's go out to Marco. What's up, Marco? Marco?
Zach.
Yeah, what's up, man?
What's up, brother? Thank you much, man. Happy birthday to you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I have many more. I was trying to look up another word that also equaled 38, and I found one that was perfect. Cigar. That equals 38. Go ahead and smoke your cigar, man.
Okay. I got a good story about cigars. When I was in 3rd grade, we got assigned, you probably got assignment like this, we got assigned somebody from history, and we had to write a report on them. And I got Simon Bolivar. And it's funny, 3rd grade, I guess, I can only remember so much about Simon Bolivar right now, but big name in history. And my mom, when she was down in Mexico, she got a box of cigars, but with no cigars in them, but just it had Simon Bolivar on the cigar artwork, and since I just done their part, she wanted to get that for me. Or actually, it did have some cigars in there, but they were Cuban cigars. But the border security destroyed it because it was Cuban. And really, she was just getting it for the
Cuban,
Simon
right.
Bolivar thing. But since she was coming back across the border and they saw it was Cuban, they destroyed it. And I mean, just as a kid, I thought just how dumb that was. I was like, what kind of freedom and what kind of law is that? Like, what? You couldn't even keep the box, and we probably could have kept the box with just the border agent just being a extra big asshole. So,
Right.
yeah, you know, it's just
Exactly.
that's the kind of nation we live in. Just a stupid nation where we're told we're free, but we're not. I mean, there's all sorts of bullshit we have to put up with. I mean, why should it matter?
All the time.
So, and again,
Definitely.
Castro.
All the
So
time.
for anybody out there getting angry because Castro and communism, okay, wake up. That's all part of the divide and conquer. Plus Castro, big Jesuit pawn, who him and his son went out by the perfect Jesuit ritual, synced up with Pope Francis, one of many. So.
Fact, man. What was I going to tell you that? Oh, in terms of the off subject, in terms of the Surfside thing in Miami, I've been meaning to call in. Did you hear about a DEA building falling down and it collapsed as well? And it collapsed in 1974, man.
On the same
47
day?
years ago.
On the same day?
No, it wasn't on the same day, but just the fact that it happened also in Miami, and then it was 47 years to the nose, and then you think about it happened in 74,
Oh,
so the
yeah.
47, 74 connection, you know what I mean? So,
I see. They're writing stories about this. Oh, look at that, man! I had to look up what date it collapsed on. Oh God, these people are the worst, man. So you guys, we're talking about how the Miami collapse is all Freemasonry, right? And Rambo's talking about Solomon's Temple. Okay, in the most pure cipher, Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58, Solomon's Temple 58. You have to do your tracing boards of Solomon's Temple to get your first 3 degrees, tracing board 58. The list goes on, 58. Huge number with Freemasonry and their rituals. So what day did the Miami DEA building collapse? In 1974? It collapsed on 5/8, August 5th. And also 74, Masonic 74, Freemasonry 58. I mean, it's just so obvious. And again, that's
Right.
destroying the evidence. That's their probably all their evidence there for what they had done, the operation that had been achieved. They probably killed every last loose end and destroyed everything there ever was right in that building that day, all in a nice, neat Masonic ritual by the numbers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's sick, man. And that's just like what after 9. That's why we're such a nation of dummies. After 9/11 in our news, they were reporting that man and Enron and WorldCom caught a break because a lot of the files for their cases happened to be in Building 7. It's like, or they didn't say Building 7. They just said they were destroyed in the collapse. But it's like, okay, if you look into that further, they were in Building 7, which fell 8 hours later. And why did it fall? A plane didn't hit it. How did it fall?
Right.
All this stuff's such a joke, man. I knew it all when I was in college because I was studying accounting, as fun as that was. And after the first year of college, they got rid of everything we learned because the Enron scandal happened, and then all the accounting rules got rewritten. All the laws were changed. So everything we were learning was just thrown out for a new system. So it's like, wait a minute. So the old system was total bullshit. So now we need is the new system just going to be a new form of bullshit? And I'm sure it is. It is. That's why when you go to school and study, if you actually like pay attention to what you're studying, not just trying to like get it and pass the test and get an A so you can get the job, but like thinking about what they're teaching you, you should be like, what the fuck? Like, Sweet Lady's going through that right now. It's funny. She's like, she hates pharmaceutical drugs right now. She finished her studying. So since she's been out of school, she wanted to study just human health more than just like the way she got in school. And now she's just realizing, she's like, the drugs really are a huge, I was like, well, I'm glad you're realizing that. She's still got now she goes to her internship and she's like just thinking about how wrong everything is. Her internship right now is being at a nursing home and she can't believe the way the staff talk about what they're going to do with the medication and to control this person's behavior at this nursing home. She's like, it's sick. It's like they're just doing drugs to get them to do what they want to do, but they should ask themselves, like, if they were that human being, would they want that to happen to them? And it's like, I said, you're going to have a problem in the workplace just like me because, see, that's the problem. If you have, like, a conscience in the workplace and you care about the right thing, guess what? You end up getting slapped on the wrist. Next thing you know, you're, like, suspended for something. Next thing you know, you don't have a job there, and all you tried to do was the right thing. So...
Right.
That's why the workplace is a wrong place, man. And that's why most people come home with all this stress and stuff because they don't like what they do at work because it's shit like that. You know, you're like, you know something's wrong about your job, but it pays the bills.
And then a lot of times that you get like a manager or something, supervisor, and they only hire their friends or like-minded individuals. You know what I mean? So that becomes a problem as well. Because like you just said, if you're in there trying to do right, and then, you know, you're going against basically the tyranny within the job, you know, you're looked at as an outcast just because you're trying to do right. And all those people in there just being lazy, doing whatever they want to do, you know. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You're like a whistleblower, you know.
Indeed. Yeah.
But yeah, Zach, man, I ain't gonna hold you, brother. Anymore, man. We, you know, it's gonna be a bang up year. Like you said, we're gonna change the name of 38 this year. So, you know, many more blessings to you, man. And let's just keep this thing going, man. I think you're catching some momentum. I know you sound like I'm not gonna say defeated, but you just seem like a little down the last couple of weeks. But the fact that Lord Jamar gave you that shout out, man, to me that should be a lot of steam, man, to keep on going, because obviously somebody is listening. You know what I mean? Even on the higher ups. And, you know, us on the lower, we still got you. We always got you. So let's keep this thing going, man.
Appreciate that, Marco. Yeah, I'll keep going, man. Thank you.
Definitely, man. Happy birthday, bro. Have a good one.
Have a good night. All right, Marco, always a great supporter. Let's go out to Canoga Park, 404. No, 818.
818, Canoga Park?
Yeah, that's you.
All right, right on. This is Water Over Rock calling in. First of all, I just wanted to wish you a happy birthday. You're born a week after me, so it's very cool to see that we're both Cancers, you know, the way the calendar's formed and all that. And I also just want to share with the community this dream that I had in 2016. This probably happened maybe a month after my apartment got set on fire. And it was before Super Bowl 51, too, between that time frame. I had this dream. I was having like a weird day. I went to sleep about maybe 9:30. I went to bed early that day, like maybe 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And then all of a sudden, I had this, this is the craziest dream I ever had in my life. Basically, I fall asleep, and while I'm sleeping, all of a sudden, this portal shows up, and it's purple and black. I have no idea what's going on. I just fell asleep, and I see this entity, like this red skin. This thing has horns, yellow eyes, the spiked tail and stuff. This thing just comes up out of nowhere in this portal, and sometimes while you're dreaming, it's you don't know if you're dreaming or if you're not dreaming, or you wonder what's going on. And I'm just wondering if anyone else has ever experienced a dream like this, where I'm staring at the portal, I see this satanic, it must be Satan himself. Satan just comes through this portal, and I have no idea what to do. I'm freaking out in my dream, and I'm just what do I do here? So I look at my hands, and they're lightning bolts. So that right there was just what do I do? I knew this guy and me is we don't mix, and I just said unconditional love, and I zapped this entity with my hands, right? But my hands were lightning bolts. So the lightning bolts zapped this guy, and while I'm dreaming, I finally wake up to the dream. But when I wake up to the dream, it's my whole room was filled with this lightning color. And it was just what is going on here? I thought I was going blind because the light was so bright. I've never experienced a dream I've had crazy dreams before, dreams of Tom Brady and stuff. I dream about LeBron James. I had dreams about Michael Jordan. Had dreams about 9/11. Just weird shit, you know? But just having a dream like this where I interact in the dream, but then I wake up, but the dream is still happening as I'm waking up. So I'm just want to know, I'm just throwing this out there. I think it was really Satan coming out of the portal, and Satan doesn't like people like us. He does not want this knowledge to get out. He wants us to be quiet. He wants us, I'm not sure if it's a man or a woman, but it's just this entity wants us vaccinated. This entity wants us to not talk. This entity wants not to ask questions. This entity is all about the Faustian bargain, where if you sell out to this entity, he'll give you whatever you want, like, you know? So I'm just throwing this out there. If anyone else has had a dream like this, we need to know about it, because I want to know, like, if Jesus Christ is real, and I also want to know if Satan's real. And I'm just trying to figure this stuff out. And that's pretty much what I have. I'm going to let the community sit on that, and I just want to see how you guys elaborate on this.
You know what, friend?
And,
I really appreciate it. I realized I did not
work-
get. I have to disconnect right now because I'm going into the other person's show right now. I'm supposed to disconnect at 3 minutes till the hour. Because the sound's not on, they didn't notice. But I appreciate the call and the thought. It is interesting. We're all trying to figure it out, man. And normally you would have got cut off 2.5 minutes ago by the show and the music. So I guess we had to get that thought out there, man. But I do appreciate it, and we will be back next week. And have a good night, everyone. Yeah, because it's not doing the sound, I didn't hear the end of the show. So I'm supposed to be off at 8:57 Pacific. And so sorry to the next guy. I think he'll still be able to connect anyway, but we're supposed to be off for the next host. A lot of times his show is just a replay, so maybe that's the case tonight. It didn't even make a difference, but... Okay, so I am going to get a drink of water real quick, and then I'm going to open up a Seif's letter and others, and we're going to read what people wrote me. And these weren't sent to me for my birthday, but it took me forever to get back to my P.O. box because Sweet Lady's out in the car. And the annoying thing about the post office in this town is it's not open on the weekend at all, so you can't go to your P.O. box on the weekend. And then it closes at 5 p.m. on the weekday. So it's like, okay, I don't have a car. I mean, I guess I could bike across town. Maybe that's what I'll start doing. I'll just start biking across town for the mail. So get some exercise. It's like 5 miles each way. I guess that's the reason. Stop making excuses. Just bike to your P.O. box. Okay, that's what I'll do. Takes time out of the day, though. It's like, it's time I don't have. But hey, exercise isn't such a bad thing. 10 miles a day on the bicycle to get your mail? Well, I don't get mail every day. I could do it a couple times a week. Anyway, I'm going to get a drink of water, and then we'll open some mail. Okay, let's see. So Asif, who's busy in the chat, he sent me a letter and it got destroyed, and then he sent another letter. We'll open up all these letters. This is the third letter he sent. The second one made it. The third one definitely made it. And I'm not exactly sure what day he sent it on. He sent it on July 6th. So his wasn't that long ago. Some of this stuff, might have been sent even prior to that. But he sent it to me on George W. Bush's birthday, my favorite guy. Old George W. Isn't it funny when you look at it, how once you learn Gematria, it's like that's the 187th day of the year. Washington, D.C. is 187 when you run it in reverse. George Washington's 187. Hold on, young Ben's calling in. Young Ben's definitely got to get on the show on my birthday. What's up, Ben?
Happy birthday, Zach.
Thanks, man.
I just needed to come on and say, I don't know if you're still doing TFR. I just got off of a late night shift, but yeah, I mean, just happy birthday. Thank you so much for everything that you've done for me and the thousands of other people that have found you in the last 7 years. Especially, just all the big events. I don't know how many of the million people or so that watched your Rockefeller and H.W. Bush videos are still around. But your work got out there. They bought your books. I don't know how many of those people are still out there. But anyway, you've touched so many of us through the years. And, just happy birthday.
Well, you're very welcome, Ben, and I'm glad you've always been here. For people who don't know, Ben's been here since he was in high school, and Ben shows that there is a degree of honesty to even the ESPN presentation, because Ben made ESPN in an authentic way with 2 hole-in-ones, and was it in 9 holes, Ben, or was it in 18 holes?
Yeah, it was 9.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah. So maybe sometimes on Thursday nights they can be a little honest.
It was a Thursday that you had your 2 hole-in-ones?
Well, it was a Monday, and then the ESPN presentation was on Thursday.
I see. Okay, got it. I got it.
Yeah. So, man, I think it's, I even think that things that make the people that make the news like one time possibly are okay, but if you're like on there repeatedly, then they obviously want you to be out there so they can do their agenda. But yeah, I mean, it's good to be able to talk to you. It's still your birthday in your time, so. But yeah, I left you a text earlier. I'm sure you got hundreds of them today, though. And just happy birthday, and like I said earlier, thank you.
Well, you're very welcome, Ben, and again, thank you for being a part of the community and doing all the great work. And sometimes I think about you and the other young people in the community. I'm like, it's good they have the knowledge, but God, this is gonna make life a lot. It's gonna make it similar to how it is for me, man, which is a gift and a curse. So sometimes I feel bad about that, but I'm glad you're happy to have it. So I guess that means it's a win.
Well, it is frustrating because there's just having to play the college game mostly. At least in my case, Bryson's got it worse with high school and all this stuff. He's still minor, all this, but just trying to play the college game, and I don't know if I told you specifically, but my college made the quote unquote vaccine mandatory, and I've filed religious exemptions and all this, but now, and then on top of that, they want me to take a nasal swab test now, and I'm like, no. And it's just like, there's just so many flaws. And they also
It's violating. I mean, all of that is violating. You need to be violated to go to school there now?
Yeah, and it's not just my school. It's like 500 colleges and universities in the nation.
This is how we said they do it, right? They won't make it mandatory, but everyone will make it, so that if you want to be a part of that, you got to have it. I mean, it's just so predictable, and you just see how it's a system. I mean, it's such a system.
Yeah, and honestly, I wonder if there will come a day eventually. Maybe not for a couple of years, but I do wonder if one day there will.
What do you want to do anyway, Ben? What do you want to do in the world?
I go to school for accounting. Like you did.
So there you go. Already, I just already know you don't need to do that. I'm like, you don't need to do that. Trust me, I didn't need to do that.
No, I mean, honestly, I don't think.
Ben, you could take a summer course on tax accounting. And if you put out an ad on Craigslist, you have the mind to pay $100, put an ad on Craigslist that you will do people's taxes, and just look at what the competitors' rate is, because people are paying charging a lot. And some people might say, well, what are your references? Well, you might not have those at first, but at first, if you get people and do a good job for them, then you'll have your references the second go around. That's how you start your business. And then next year you have way more people because of word of mouth. Ben does a good job. I mean that essentially you'd be doing the same thing, but for somebody else and getting paid less. But my point is, you don't even need to go to college. You can go take a summer course, get your little credential that you can do people's taxes, because a lot of people who do taxes for a living, they only work a few months out of the year. They work during tax season, and they take the rest of the year off because they make enough money in that time. There's people that make 6 figures working 3 months out of the year. They work their ass off in that time. But again, I mean, you can get a slave job out of college and maybe make $50,000 a year after getting all this debt for 4 years, and what really for what? You could have learned accounting law and what's actually practicable and usable to have a career and a living. So,
yeah, no, and I mean, you're absolutely right about that. In all honesty, I mean, I'm just so fed up with the system, which tax is a huge part of it. You said it. I remember you said it years ago that you stopped paying taxes after they couldn't get the Obamacare website to work back in 2013, or something like that. But I mean, within the system, that is a good idea. If you actually read the contracts that most people don't even read, like the terms of service, that you just check off on or whatever. Like, but to do that, the equivalent to like live on a college campus or just to go there, if you really, I was reading it earlier today. I'm like, you're signing your life away, especially now, because they want you to, basically they want you to comply. They literally use the word comply with testing, which includes diagnostic, like PCR, and contact tracing, and what was the other one? I forget what the other one was, but like it's just, and they want you to wear masks all the time, and like they said you're like legally bound by this contract to orders and laws. So it's like, a mask mandate isn't a law, but you're legally bound to it if you sign that contract. And they say on and off campus. So really, once you leave campus, like, you're still under their rules technically. I don't know if that's ever really enforced, but they could enforce it if they wanted to. You're a slave. You're a slave.
Indeed. And it's sad, Ben. I wondered what it would look like in 20 years. This is what it looks like in 20 years. You now need to get injected with the rushed out vaccine from these companies that only care about their bottom line, and a government that only cares about protecting their interests. And it's just so obvious what our government is. It's total fascism, man. It's never been more obvious. But yeah, Ben, you're your own man. You got to make your own decisions. But honestly, now I think you might get a lot of grief from people around you and in your family, but you're a smart guy. And like I said, I mean, if you want to be successful as an accountant, you could do exactly what I said, and I'm sure you'd do great. I already know you're a great researcher and worker, and it really is that easy to start your own business. Again, I'll remind people about a story from my own life. My friend David, growing up, he got expelled from high school. He was hanging out with this kid who just moved into our area, Jake, and Jake came with all these. I knew Jake was just trouble to stay away from Jake, but he was hanging out with Jake, and Jake was selling some stuff they should have been selling. And David was with him. Well, they both got expelled from school. They both went to jail, and David got kicked out of school, and his mom was just so upset. And she even said something to me at the time. She's like, I wish you were my son. I was like, no, you don't wish I was your son. And him and I were friends growing up, but she was like so mad at him at the time, and I was there, and she said that to me. I was like, don't say that. That doesn't help out nothing. And trust me, that's not true anyway. My mom calls me, you don't know, trust me. But anyway, the thing was, David, though, he got on his feet, and man, he went up to Seattle, and he took an underwater welding class, and next thing you knew, he was out, and he was making I mean, it's a tough job working underwater welding, but he was making $80,000 as an 18-year-old in no time, and here we are going to school, and like, man, it's like, David's already got a nice little spot and a nice little place, and he's making a good salary. I mean, $80,000 was a lot of money. The start of the 2000. That's a great salary. I mean, most people, parents in our neighborhood, I think that was more than his own parents were making. And, it looked like, oh my God, expelled from school. What's he going to do? Well, man, what he's going to do is just go out and do something on his own feet and put himself in a better situation. And I was so impressed with that. I was like, man, I didn't know David is the man. I was so impressed. I was just like, oh my, because when growing up with him, he was always a little bit slower, and he wasn't the best athlete, but then when he did that, I was just like, look at him, man. Go David. So anyway, the point is, Ben, you do the same thing, I'm sure, if plans changed for you. And yeah, school isn't the only option. Everybody's in the system, in the mindset. College is almost like the vaccine before. It's like, I wouldn't have gone to college, but my mom was so insistent on me going. My dad wouldn't have cared if I didn't go. My mom I just saw right away it was all bullshit. All that stuff happened right when I was a freshman. 9/11. Not only did our accounting stuff change after 1 year, but when my freshman year, my first semester, my English class, we changed our whole curriculum weeks into class after 9/11 because now we were going to focus on the Middle East and the countries of the Middle East and the possible threats to the Middle East. I was just like, this is such a joke, man. This is such a joke. I knew it wasn't the Middle East. I was like, this is some bullshit. Now in school, I'm going to learn about the threats in the Middle East and write papers about it. I mean, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, write papers about the man in the cave who used 2 planes to turn 3 buildings to dust in their own footprint.
That's exactly how it was. I was like, this is, God, man, you just got to be, I was like, what? This is for dummies, man. This is for dummies. So.
Well, I enjoyed it in the first year and a half, and then I'm like you with 9/11. I knew when March 11th, 2020 happened, and then I think we got the announcement that we weren't going back to campus like a few days later. I just knew the whole thing was bullshit right from the beginning. It looked really ritualistic. It didn't. smell right. I mean, you're calling it a pandemic when there's, when there's a very high survival rate. I mean, we've heard about like all these pandemics, throughout history, like the plague and smallpox and all this. And, I've actually discovered a number of things about them too. Not directly, but just researching and stuff, but to what those might have actually been. But I mean, like, but it just didn't make any sense. I mean, the toilet paper, and then when I actually hadn't watched many of your videos from the time I was in college, and then I tuned back in to see what you were saying, and the first thing you pointed out was like the toilet paper and coronavirus are 56, and Washington D.C.'s 56, and Anthony Fauci's 56. I was like, okay, well, this is an absolute load of horse shit. And I was pissed at the time. I mean, I kept myself busy with my schoolwork, but when this year came, and I knew that the vaccine was coming, and I was hoping that they weren't going to make it mandatory, but now they're making it mandatory probably because they're literally getting paid like millions of dollars from the American Rescue Plan to essentially be the CDC's bitch. That's really what it is. I mean, you're going to get $100 million or however many dollars they're getting. I think it's like $120-something billion spread throughout all the colleges and universities in the country taking part. And you're going to get your share if you follow our bullshit ass guidelines that don't even support our own science. It's just stupid. I mean, literally there's like, even within, okay, and there's a lot of people listening that are well aware of, or that know that terrain theory is more credible than germ theory. I know you're not really into it, but either way, within all of that science, within the germ theory science, the one that the media uses, there's like hundreds of studies that say masks do nothing to stop viruses. So what do? Well, we're gonna make you wear them in the middle of fucking summer. Let's go. And if you don't fucking listen, well then we deem you a threat, so you're kicked out. That's the other thing about the contract they want me to sign. They can kick you off or expel you if you're deemed a threat. So I can deem anything. I can deem cosmetics are going to cause skin cancer, so they shouldn't be allowed. I can deem that pencils are dangerous because if they end up in someone's eye, it's eye surgery. Okay, I can deem anything, but it's not based in reason. It's just absolutely stupid.
Indeed, Ben, it is. It is, man. And it's too bad. It's too bad that you have to grow up in this world. It's too bad we've all had to grow up in this world, but it's gotten worse. It's like for every generation it's gotten worse because the generations before it didn't do what needed to be done. So.
Yeah, and it only got worse. That's right. I mean, maybe back in the 50s and 60s, it seemed like everybody kind of went along with the TV. I think that's why a lot of older people don't see things as well. I mean, people like my grandmother and people like my grandparents' age, like who were born in like the 40s, they basically grew up, listening to the radio all the time, and then the radio became the TV. Basically, everybody between what's Ed Sullivan was his name, I think. Everyone between Ed Sullivan and now up to Jake Tapper or whatever, and everyone in between. It was like a nice progress train of just programming and bullshit, and they don't really know how to use all. I mean, some of them do, and hats off to them, but a lot of them, the typical one doesn't know how to like search for alternative sources of information. They're just, I mean, they're just trapped, and they don't even realize that they're trapped, really. And anything happens that would change their world viewpoint, that they're not going to acknowledge it. They're at the end of their life. So, but so it was harder to find alternative information, but they still lived through a bunch of BS. I mean, they still lived through Gulf of Tonkin. They lived through the AIDS nonsense. They lived through polio, which was based in something that wasn't a virus. It was all DDT. I know you looked into DDT. They lived through all that, but it's not enough. I mean, if they get past all those lies, I mean, this one's a no-brainer for them. So.
Indeed, Ben. Well, the world is lucky to have you. So stay strong, buddy. And,
All right, thank you.
Appreciate you calling
All
in
right.
tonight.
All right, no problem. Happy
All right.
birthday.
Yeah, thanks, Ben. Have a good one, man.
All right.
See you.
All right.
Okay. All right. Putting the phone on airplane mode. I'm going to read some of these cards they got sent here. And there might be... I need to make it back to my P.O. box because there might be more back in there. So if I go through these cards and you're like, where's my card? It might still be in my mailbox. But, yeah, I used to be on top. I used to be down on the corner right next to the post office every day. Plus, I was in there shipping books every day before that. So I was in the post office all the time. But now that I haven't had a car, I haven't been going to the post office. Funny, Asif. So this is from Asif. He wrote, for my Gematria professor. Very funny. Okay. And then he wrote out his full name. Very cool. Gematria is the key to unlocking the news. It allows us to see how the Jesuits manipulate views. No one has raised awareness like you, dear Zach. Thank you. You have the foresight that other channels lack. I appreciate that. Well, I think part of the thing is, when I start hearing other people talk, like when they reveal how long they've been awake for, a lot of these channels that have big followings, they'll even admit that they haven't been awake that long. Like, they woke up in the last 5, maybe 10 years ago. It's like, I mean, I'm not as old as a lot of them, but I've been awake the whole damn time, man. And I think it was before 9/11. 9/11 was just too much. So I don't know why that is. It doesn't seem like it should be that. I don't know. I get confused why other people can't just see things for the way. And again, I remember when I was a young person, when I first moved to Seattle, my landlord, he looked at me and he's like, "You have the thing that almost no one has." He's like, "You have common sense and you can see things for what they are." And then it was funny. He was an old man. I mean, I'm in my early 20s, right? He's an old man. He's probably like early 80s. Man, he started coming to my apartment all the time to see if I was around just to talk to me. He just wanted to talk to me about things and all the bullshit in the world. And just people want someone to listen to him. And then he noticed that I could have like a conversation about it. He said nobody else even cares or knows what he's talking about. He couldn't believe it. He's like, "I wouldn't think somebody your age would exist like this." And I was like, and I didn't mind talking to him because most people aren't awake either. So I was like, well, I don't normally hang out with 80-year-olds. But I'll tell you what was cool about that, you guys. He was kind of a dick of a landlord to most people, and he kicked people out of there. And I knew it was one thing. He was real big on smoking. I never smoked cigarettes, but there was supposed to be no smoking in his apartment. And I was pretty good about keeping it on the DL, but one time I had some friends over, and it was like a Cheech and Chong episode in there, man. And he came over at the door at that time, and when I opened the door, man, it was just like a cloud of smoke. He didn't say a word to me ever. Oh my God, he would have lit up anybody else in that complex, man. And so that's one of the rare cases of like being interested in the truth and it working out. You know, and maybe that guy was so mean to everybody because he's so mad at the world that they can't see what's going on. But then in me, he was just like, well, whatever, man. I'll let you break the rules. Oh, man. I'm going to save one of the stories. Never mind. No one motivated me to love... What did you write? No one motivated me to love... What is the word after that, Asif? Until you. Love something. He loves something. What is the word, though? He wrote in cursive. So. Asif. If you can think of what that word is, I'll be looking for your comment. But yeah, I appreciate that. And then he wrote more, too. There's a secondary letter here. So... I need more light. Okay. All right. okay, I see. Part 1 was the ideas about Gematria. Part 2 was okay, and then part 2 was compliments. I got it. Okay, part 3. He's saying, well, I don't see. I might need to wait till the morning to read. Some of the cursive is tough on my eyes tonight, so maybe I am getting old here. I will read this letter, but I can tell right now I'm going to struggle with some of the cursive. So I do appreciate it, though, my man. Thank you. And also, Sarah's Candy's got special ingredients. They might be doing the number on my eyes, too, so I don't think it's your writing. I think it's my eyes right now, but I will come back to that. I need like a big baby print in the picture, in the picture book. Okay, let me see. I got more letters, but what did I do with them? What in the world? What did I do with the letters? Hold on. Oh, there they go. Buried it under the mail I don't want. Okay, I got 2 more letters. Okay, so this right here, this person, thank you so much. This person, I don't want to put their name out there, but thank you very much. This person has sent probably about 50 envelopes like this, and some of them have been just like packed to the brim and taped a bunch of times because there's too much in there. But all of these cost around $8 to ship, and they've probably sent me about 50. So I mean, they've invested a lot of time and money and energy into this. They've sent me about 50 of these, so that's $400 in shipping, and they make up probably 80% of all the stuff I've ever received in the P.O. box. I don't get that many letters in the P.O. box, because maybe they've sent even more than 50 of these. But they've sent a lot of these, and they're packed with seeds, you guys. I got so many different types of food and seeds. I really appreciate it. And I'm like, they don't ever write a letter or anything. They just send all these seeds, and I'm just like, I guess that is the message. They must have like a store that sells seeds is something I imagine. I don't know that that's true. But they've never written a letter. And I'm not exactly sure who it is. But the message is like, we need to be making our own food, and so I appreciate it. But they normally send it like this. But they've been sending me a lot of small letters. This is them also, a lot of letters like this full of seeds. And here, I'll just open the smaller one. But the bigger one is going to be the same thing, but just packed with seeds. And let me see. Okay, so actually this one they sent flowers. They normally send food, but there's flowers in here. So we got more cucumber seeds, and we got some morning glory flowers. So, but again, we could plant a big beautiful garden and have all the food we need in the world in terms of plants. And I'm keeping it all organized as it all comes in, but that person out there, you really don't need to send me any more because you've just sent so many, and I'm pretty sure we can just grow so much food already. I don't think I'm ever going to have a big enough piece of land, but even if there was a community of like 1,000 of us, I don't think we need any more seeds. I think we'd be good. I think if there were 10,000 of us, I think we'd be good. So I do appreciate it, though. I mean, it's very generous, and yeah, I just don't think the reason I'm saying we don't need it anymore is because, I mean, I got it. It's like, okay, we got to figure out how to get the land and make it happen. I got that. I mean, you're definitely a motivating factor in that. But I really don't think we need any more seats, and you don't have to spend any more money on postage, and yeah, so. But I do appreciate it. And I know this person. This person's a longtime follower. If I'm not mistaken, this person, maybe they don't live in Seattle anymore, but they used to live in Seattle. She's been following for a very long time. There are a lot of people in this community that have been around for a long time. It's crazy how time goes by. I mean, it doesn't seem possible. It doesn't seem possible. I was thinking that in 2011, at the end of that year, I was in the process of buying my house. Okay. I'm guessing you need a copy of my book. Or, well, maybe it's just a donation. She sent me $20. I got a lot of mail like this, $20 for books. I need to get more copies of my book. I was going to do it, and I thought I was about to do it, and then... It's funny, actually, I did reorder more copies of the book, and then there was something messed up, and then they asked me a question, and then I got cold feet, and I changed my mind, and I held off, because I was just like, I don't want to... I was in the post office every day shipping books for several months straight. And, yeah, it's nice to not be in the post office every day, but... Yeah. Here, hold on. There's more things we got sent. Let's see what else we got. So there wasn't any letter in there. There was just a check. Thank you very much, Wendy. I appreciate it, Wendy. And, Generous Ray, if you're out there, I haven't checked. There might be... Generous Ray always sends a letter, and he's very generous, and just amazing. But I need to give him a call. I haven't heard from him. I wanted to see if he liked the T-shirts, but... I think this might be from Rich. I think this might be from Rich right here. This gotta be from Rich. Shout out to Rich. Rich might have the emotional maturity of a 5-year-old, but he is the man. This gotta be from Rich. GematriaEffectNews YouTube 22. That's funny. All right, Rich, don't get mad, Rich. Rich is so easily offended. Okay. Rich has a great heart, and Rich does fight for the community, and he fights with everyone in the community, and he's just a true fighter. And we need people like Rich, man. And again, Rich just reminds me that, and I think we all know this, but it's not like your education level or anything that has to do with if you're awake and see the truth or not and care about the truth. It's just it's in people of all different everything, backgrounds, races. It's weird how it works. It is weird. And Rich, what I gotta say though, man, is I did. Never mind, man. It's all good. It's all good, Rich. I'm not even gonna say it. It's fine. But language is so important, and getting the wording right on things is crucial if you want to be taken seriously. And it shouldn't be that way. If a man's out on the street, and he is putting out something that's making you think, and you better look into, if the phrasing's not quite right, that doesn't mean that the information... See, people judge people that way. They think oh, he doesn't write he doesn't write well enough, or he doesn't speak well enough, so everything he's saying must not be... But, again, just the presentation, people are looking for any way to discredit, and they discredit in illogical ways. Just because a guy's grammar is not perfect doesn't mean that he doesn't know what he's talking about. I definitely don't have perfect grammar, but... Anyway, love the shirt, Rich. And I just wish you'd stop fighting with everybody in the community, man. Picking a fight with Bart? I mean, why? You feel like Bart's getting more attention than you, Rich? Even if he was, who cares? But I do appreciate the shirt, but I'm just why are you always fighting with everyone, man? I mean, just why? Okay, and then we got another package. Let's see. This has a big smell to it. But by the way, somebody sent me some nice hand cream that's cannabis infused. I was telling you that I had this middle finger that was sore. My middle finger had been sore in the time I've been out on the street holding the megaphone. Because, I was doing it for hours and hours a day, every single day. and I started to get this pain, and it's like starting the top of my palm into my middle finger, and I just been dealing with it. And sweet lady there, she's like, "Why don't you put on some of that weed cream?" I was like, "Yeah, why haven't I done that?" And I put it on. I can't tell you how much better just the next day my finger felt after just like pain for 3 straight months. One night of that cream being on, and I would say about somewhere between 80 and 90% pain reduction. And then I did a second coat, and it's way down. My hand's still not back to normal. Like, I used to have really strong hand and be just able to open a jar so easy. Right now, it's hard for me to open jars because I have this pain and I can't grip. So, I mean, it's like a disadvantage to have that. But, man, just one night, one little, just application on the finger, and the pain just down so far. And you just think about that. Because back in the day, you guys, pharmacy, it was like the medicine. Marijuana and cocaine were common things in the pharmacy. All sorts of opioids, all these things that are still the drugs of today were just used in different ways to treat problems because they're all plants, plant-based medicine. And all this stuff was taken away and replaced with man-made synthetic crap. And it's just like, damn, that's amazing, man. Marijuana, you can smoke it. It can give you like this. I mean, all things are good and bad. Just everyone's like, I had a bad experience on weed. You can also smoke weed and get a really nice thought, a really creative thought, a really helpful thought. And, it can do that for you. You can rub some on your... You could eat... If for people who don't think you should smoke, you can ingest it. You could make it into food and eat it and get a similar type of experience. But, I mean, it's just such a diverse thing. And then to think that you just put a little bit of this, cannabis cream on your hand, and oh my God, man, your pain is way down. I mean, you've had this consistent pain for 3 months, and then just one night, and I still have it there, but it's not that bad anymore. It's like, well, that's way more manageable. I mean, it's not even really annoying me. It's almost like it's not even there. Except for when you try to open the lid, and then you're like, okay, it's still not quite right. But you know what? I feel like I have more strength also to open the jar right now than I did before I did it. Because there's less pain. It's the pain that's making you stop. But hold on. What do we have here? It's incense. That's what it is. I was like, man, because this smells strong. I guess that's why I started talking about that, because I was like, whatever this is smells strong. Okay, it's incense. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. So, I will check that out and get that set up. But I appreciate it, you guys. Thanks for sending. I mean, it's cool that just people send just, random nice thoughts, and, incense definitely have healing qualities. This is from the Essential Stop. So, the Essential Stop in Georgia, in Duluth. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And Sarah sent me some candies the other day. I've had them for a while. I almost finished them off tonight for my birthday, but I saved 2 more for later. So, anyway. And also, Hickok, if you're out there somewhere, man, I mean, Hickok got mad last week because I called him out for drinking too much. And, dude, I mean, don't be so soft. I mean, dude, you need to get called out for drinking so much. I'm calling you out for drinking so much because it's not good for you. It's not good for you. That's why I'm calling you out. You gotta see people. That's how people are, man. You call them out for their stuff, and then they get mad at you. And I know Hickok's a good person. I mean, Hickok's one of the most generous people, and, sometimes you got to be tough about things, though. I mean, the dude's been a huge supporter of the work for years and drunk the whole time. I mean, you got to break that habit. You can't just go through life drunk. And what he doesn't understand is when he calls, because he's drunk, you're talking to a drunk, right? Drunk doesn't even remember what he just said 5 minutes ago, and a conversation that could be 2 minutes is 30 minutes, and after 30 minutes, you're like, dude, I love you, bro, but I got to get off the phone. He's like, hold on, man, I got one more thing. And it's like, you already went over that, man. Come on, man, you're starting to annoy me now. But, yeah, I'm sorry if it's making you mad. Stop drinking. I mean, you got a lot of people that like you in the community. I like you, but at the same time, like, if we were going to have a community, I'd be annoyed. I'd be honestly annoyed if we were in the same community and you were drunk every day. And not if you're like hanging out in your own apartment and being drunk. I mean, if we live in some community and that you have your own spot, but if you're being drunk every day and coming to me and like wanting to talk to me drunk 30 minutes about like shit I don't really care about that much, it would get old, man. It would get old. I'm just being real. I don't do that to people. You know, I can tell like if somebody wants to talk to me or not. And after 30 minutes, you know, so anyway. But yeah, Hickok just spamming everywhere and going off about, you know, it's just like, dude, I know you mean well and you want to support, man, but being a drunk it's not good. It's not good for the community. Does it make us look good when you call in drunk? People are like, oh, these are the kind of people into Gematria. That's how people are, man. Same thing I'm saying to Rich. Don't give people a reason. So... And Hickok's also mad because he sent me these super hot, spicy things that he wants me to do on camera. He wants me to eat these really spicy things because he thinks it'll just bring more people in and people want entertainment. And it's an idea. I'm down for doing it, but there hasn't been a day where I feel like eating the thing that's supposed to roast your mouth and maybe make you like, you know, puke up like it's happened to people. So it's like, I don't know if that's exactly what I want to do, man. Kill myself on camera with the hot peppers. I guess I should have done it while I was 37. But, yeah, you know, I mean, everyone who knows Hickok, I mean, he's a good guy, but, dude, it's just like, I mean, come on, man. So anyway, I got to close out with that because I care about Hickok, and I don't feel like I'm airing it. I feel like I'm putting it out there to motivate you, Hickok. I mean, dude, people will like you more, I guarantee you. And the other thing is, like, for years, man, who are you texting? He sends group text messages, and you have no idea who he's talking to, but he's always so angry at him. And it's just like, I've ignored all this stuff for, like, 2 years. I'm just like, you read his text message, like, why won't you pussies fucking text back? It's just like, who are you writing to, man? Who? What? Why won't what fucking pussies text back? But then the guy writes you a card the next day and makes some hoodies and stuff for the movement. You're like, this guy's so fucking confusing. All his text messages are like, I don't know who he's talking to, but he's cussing somebody out, but I'm getting the message. I'm just like, and then he calls in and he's wasted. And it's just like, I can't figure out this, but he's down for the cause, man. What are we going to do here? Anyway. Yeah, if I didn't care about you, Hickok, I wouldn't talk about you, man. Just fucking stop drinking so much. It's not good. You're going to pickle your liver. You've already fucked up your liver. Let's be honest about it. You're getting older, man. You're not going to live very long, and maybe that's part of the plan. A lot of people are cutting their lives short because they just want to get the fuck out of here, man. But at the same time, if you're going to be a drunken supporter of the community, then just don't call in anymore. And honestly, man, I mean, you don't need to call me when you're drunk either. You can only call me when you're sober from now on. If I pick up the phone, you better be sober. All right. I'm leaving it there, you guys. Have a good rest of your night. And until next time.